The story starts with Song Ran waking up from a scary dream. In his dream, he saw a strong boss monster that killed his teammates and ate the heart of one of his friends. This nightmare kept coming back to him, even though it happened 2 weeks ago. He could still remember the horror clearly. Although his guild didn't officially look into what happened, rumors about the monster spread among the hunters. Because of this, Song Ran became famous as the only survivor. But his fame wasn't for a good reason. People started calling him a cursed healer. They thought he was weak and only survived because of his team. Many hunters didn't want to work with him. Because of these rumors, Song Ran began to feel like he didn't deserve friends and that he should be alone. Feeling uneasy, Song Ran opened his fridge and realized he had no food left. He knew he had to go out to buy something to eat. As he got ready, he felt embarrassed about how he looked. Coming from a poor family, he didn't have nice clothes and didn't want anyone to recognize him. He went to a convenience store in the city to find food. While inside, he heard people talking about the massacre in the dungeon 2 weeks ago. They were talking about the only survivor, a healer, and saying he had killed his team to take all the rewards. They also said the healer was weak and could be easily killed. Hearing these lies made Song Ran feel angry and hurt. He stayed quiet and tried not to let their words bother him. He picked up a few items, but realized he didn't have enough money. In the end, he could only afford 1 loaf of bread. It had been weeks since Song Ran left his house. He was frustrated with his life as a hunter. He couldn't find a team to work with and had no friends. He decided to try his luck in a dungeon meant for one person, even if it meant going alone. He arrived at the gate of a dungeon called the Novice Dungeon. The Novice Dungeon was made for beginner hunters to improve their skills. It wasn't very hard, but it would give Song Ran a small reward to help him survive. As he walked in, 2 hunters recognized him and laughed at him for going into the dungeon alone. Song Ran ignored them and started the test. The system activated the Novice Experience Dungeon model. He didn't know what to expect as he entered the dungeon, which was filled with a thick, bloody mist. He noticed his sword was acting strangely in the mist. As Song Ran went deeper into the dungeon, he became more curious about what was ahead. He had accepted a mission to defeat 100 soil element monsters, but he soon realized it would be harder than he thought. The blood mist started to clear, showing the true strength of the monsters hiding underground. They were big, strong, and had powerful attacks. Song Ran was surprised because he expected the monsters in a beginner dungeon to be weak. Still, he knew he had to finish his mission. He tried using his healer powers to fight, but the monsters were too strong for his magic alone. Realizing this, Song Ran decided to use his evolution sword. As he got ready to fight, one of the monsters charged at him with a powerful punch. But Song Ran reacted quickly and defeated the monster with a single slash of his sword. Winning the fight made Song Ran realize how strong he had become. He felt more powerful than ever and was ready to face the rest of the monsters. With each fight, he grew more confident in his abilities. He knew he could complete his mission and succeed in the dungeon. As Song Ran entered the dungeon, he didn't have time to rest. Right away, he used a skill to boost his healing powers, strength, and speed. He was ready for the fight, knowing he would face many monsters. With his new strength, Song Ran easily defeated the stone monsters one by one. This was a big improvement from his strength after the massacre of his team, when he was seen as the weakest hunter. Now he had become much stronger. The more monsters Song Ran defeated, the stronger he became. Finally, he faced the last monster. With a quick jump and a fast slash, he defeated it. Even though it was just a beginner mission, Song Ran had passed it easily. After collecting his reward, Song Ran looked very tired. He didn't expect the mission to be so exhausting. But the dungeon wasn't finished yet. The system told Song Ran his next mission: defeat 100 water monsters. Before starting, he got a reward from his last mission, an Earth Essence Crystal. He had never seen or heard of it before. He didn't know what it did, but he knew it came from the power of the earth. He was curious to see how it would work with his weapons. With his new mission, Song Ran set out. Suddenly, a bright light appeared, and the environment changed to a snowy area. Ice and water elements were everywhere. Giant ice blocks fell from the sky, and snow monsters appeared. These monsters were stronger than the usual water monsters he had faced before. Determined, Song Ran charged at a snow monster with his sword. He attacked with skill, but his strikes didn't hurt the monster. He noticed the monster could heal itself very quickly, making his attacks useless. Song Ran realized these ice monsters had strong defenses like the rock monsters and healing powers like water monsters. Feeling hopeless, he thought he might die there because his attacks didn't work. Suddenly, the dungeon system told Song Ran he could fuse the Earth Essence Crystal with his weapon. Without waiting, he combined the crystal with his Blade of Evolution. After the fusion, his sword gained a new skill. It could now petrify enemies, slowing them down by 50% and stopping their healing for 3 seconds. Feeling hopeful, Song Ran charged at the ice monsters. His attacks worked. The monster he hit started turning to stone. He quickly cut off its head. Song Ran had found a way to win. He moved fast, jumping from one monster to another, defeating them all. Song Ran defeated all the monsters except one. But when he reached the last monster's location, it wasn't there. Instead, the ice from the defeated monsters came together to form a new, stronger enemy, the Snow Queen. She was an upgraded version of the Ice Golem. The battle began. Song Ran used a healing skill to recover from his earlier wounds. Once he was healed, he attacked the Snow Queen, but his strikes didn't hurt her. She was very strong and tough. The Snow Queen used her skill, making sharp ice blocks fall from the sky. If Song Ran was hit, he would die. But he dodged the ice blocks and found a chance to attack. He managed to hurt the Snow Queen, and she tried to counterattack, but Song Ran avoided it. Song Ran prepared for his next attacks. This time, he kept striking the Snow Queen repeatedly. After many attacks, he gained a new skill. He fought with all his strength, determined to defeat the Snow Queen. During his fight with the Snow Queen, Song Ran learned a new skill that could defeat the monster in one strong attack. But using this skill would cost him a lot of his health. If he used it too much, he could die. Still, Song Ran decided to use it because it was his only chance to win. With all his strength, Song Ran attacked the Snow Queen, cutting and destroying her organs. But the monster healed itself instantly. The Snow Queen fought back, hitting Song Ran and sending him into a wall. She kept attacking, giving Song Ran no chance to strike back. Song Ran dodged the monster's attacks, avoiding direct hits. He jumped into the air, moved around, and landed back on the ground, waiting for the right moment to attack. The Snow Queen didn't stop attacking, and Song Ran fought back with his new skill. The battle was fierce, and both sides were determined to win. As the fight continued, neither Song Ran nor the Snow Queen gave up. The monsters were strong, and the battle was intense. But Song Ran was determined to win. He gathered his strength and prepared to strike the monster with everything he had. When the monster came close, Song Ran attacked. The two clashed in a fierce fight, but in the end, Song Ran won. The Snow Queen was destroyed, and Song Ran received an ice shard that felt very cold. He combined the shard with his sword, gaining a new skill, a regeneration skill. However, the skill was only 0.1% effective, which Song Ran thought was useless. When Song Ran left the dungeon, he saw a group of hunters. They were surprised to see him in good condition because many of them were hurt from the dungeon. Song Ran was also confused as he looked at the injured hunters. As Song Ran walked out, another hunter appeared, asking for help because he was badly hurt. The scene was chaotic, with many hunters injured and a dungeon investigation team trying to figure out what was happening. Despite the chaos, Song Ran had beaten another dangerous dungeon. He had shown he was a skilled hunter who could survive the dangers of the dungeon. But he still wondered what was happening inside the dungeons, just like the other hunters. Song Ran asked a female hunter what had happened. She explained that while she and her team were training in a beginner dungeon, black smoke appeared and a strange, powerful monster showed up. The monster was much stronger than anything they had faced before. The hunters were badly hurt and only escaped because the dungeon's time limit saved them. Without it, they would have died. Song Ran thought the dungeon's changes might have been caused by his recent actions. He decided to be more careful in the future to avoid hurting other hunters. At that moment, a group of hunters from the Huang Tu Guild arrived. They were the biggest guild in Song Ran City, and their healers helped the injured hunters while others prepared to enter the dungeon. Since Song Ran had nothing to do with the dungeon's changes, he decided to leave. But two hunters who had mocked him earlier stopped him. They bullied and insulted Song Ran, who had no team or partners. Song Ran chose to walk away, not wanting to cause trouble. This made the hunters angrier, and their leader mocked Song Ran, asking if he was rushing to see his nanny. Then, he cruelly brought up the death of Song Ran's caretaker. Angry at the woman's insults, Song Ran pulled out his sword and threatened her. He told her to take back her words or he would kill her. The woman was shocked by Song Ran's speed because healers are usually not fast. At that moment, Huang, the leader of the Huang Tu Guild, stepped in and stopped Song Ran from attacking the female hunter, who was also a guild member. The guild leader warned everyone that fighting was not allowed in the beginner area. Realizing the hunter was a diamond-level fighter, Song Ran decided to leave instead of risking a fight. As he was about to go, the guild leader challenged him to a one-on-one battle in the hunter arena. The female hunter was still angry about being ignored and threatened earlier. With a cold look, Song Ran accepted the challenge and went to the arena for the fight. Song Ran and the two hunters arrived at the Hunter League arena, where hunters could battle each other. The arena had two options: a friendly match or a fight to the death, where the battle continues until one person dies. When they entered, the two hunters made fun of Song Ran, saying he looked nervous and scared. Song Ran stayed quiet and ignored them. The two hunters signed up for the match and had to choose between friendly mode or death mode. The female hunter chose friendly mode to teach Song Ran a lesson, but to everyone's surprise, Song Ran asked for a fight to the death. The arena manager was shocked, and the female hunter questioned if Song Ran was really willing to die. Song Ran then showed the documents needed for a death match. Everyone was stunned. They expected an exciting fight, but now they were even more curious. The two hunters who had mocked Song Ran were speechless and accused him of stealing the qualifications for a death match. But Song Ran had all the necessary papers. News of the battle spread quickly, and many hunters came to watch. Song Ran, a healer-type hunter, was about to fight Mei Li, a powerful assassin who had won 16 out of 18 fights and never lost in the arena. Even though the fight seemed unfair, the audience was excited to see what would happen. Just before the battle started, a female hunter named Ling got a call from her boss, telling her to live-stream the fight. Back in the arena, Song Ran and Mei Li were ready to fight. Mei Li moved first, attacking with lightning speed. Song Ran stayed calm and even smiled at her technique. Mei Li tried to attack from behind with a move called backstab, but Song Ran dodged it easily. The audience was shocked because the attack was fast and came from behind. Song Ran then teased Mei Li, saying her speed was as slow as a snail. Angry, Mei Li attacked again, but Song Ran blocked it without any trouble. Even though Mei Li was confident, Song Ran showed he was in control. He demonstrated his skill with mana and his ability to handle the situation. Mei Li started to realize how strong Song Ran was. She thought he must be hiding his true rank because no bronze-tier hunter should be this powerful. To gain an advantage, Mei Li used a special move called Blood Fog, which limits the enemy's vision and boosts the hunter's power. But to her surprise, Song Ran's fog style didn't work against her move. He then used his Petrify skill with his Blade of Evolution sword, spinning it wildly. The fog began to disappear, and Song Ran canceled Mei Li's Blood Fog. He had been behind her the whole time. Song Ran's fast attacks caught Mei Li off guard, and she couldn't dodge them. She fell to the ground hurt. The audience was shocked. They couldn't believe a healer, who was rumored to be weak and cursed, had defeated an assassin. Song Ran walked up to Mei Li, pointed his sword at her throat, and told her he could have killed her if he wanted to. He said if she had just walked away, none of this would have happened. After winning, Song Ran gained a new skill. The Huang Tu Guild hunters watching the match were shocked. They couldn't believe their famous assassin had lost to a beginner healer. The battle was being live-streamed in the city by Faye, and the residents were just as surprised as the hunters. They never expected a healer to defeat a higher-ranking assassin. The arena was full of excitement, with hunters shouting for Song Ran to finish Mei Li. He asked her to beg for forgiveness, and she apologized, asking for mercy. This made Song Ran angrier because he felt she had insulted him. He demanded she admit her mistake and call herself shameless. Mei Li reluctantly agreed, even though the live stream captured everything. Back at the guild, The hunters talked about what Song Ran's victory meant. They saw it as a sign that their guild could return to its former glory. After winning a big fight, Song Ran became a hero among the hunters. As he walked home, he knew the Huang Tu Guild would react to his victory. But Song Ran didn't regret his actions. He only wanted to get stronger for the battles he knew were coming. Meanwhile, at the Huang Tu Guild, the boss was punishing Mei Li, the hunter who lost to Song Ran. The boss was angry because her loss hurt the guild's reputation. Just as the boss was saying Mei Li's life meant nothing compared to the guild's image, a man arrived and offered to buy Mei Li as a hunter. Mei Li's friend got angry and attacked the man, but the man stayed calm. With one move, the mysterious man, later known as Mr. Trader, cut off the arm of the hunter who attacked him. Even though he was sitting down, Mr. Trader's power was clear. The chairman of the Huang Tu Guild apologized for his subordinate's actions and agreed to sell Mei Li to Mr. Trader. Even the chairman was afraid of Mr. Trader. Mr. Trader took Mei Li and disappeared without a trace. The Huang Tu Guild boss wondered why Mei Li was chosen and why Mr. Trader was there. The chairman ordered the injured hunter to be taken to the hospital. Mr. Trader was known in the underworld as a human trafficker and traitor. He was feared because he would kill anyone who refused his offers. No one knew his true identity. Mr. Trader demanded that the Huang Tu Guild boss hand over Mei Li to avoid trouble. This caused the guild to lose 2 of its main hunters. The boss decided that Song Ran, who was causing problems for the guild, had to die. Under a stormy sky, Mr. Trader took Mei Li to an unknown place. He used a special stone on her, and the results amazed him. At the same time, Song Ran changed his appearance by cutting his hair, leaving his weak past behind. Suddenly, a strange stone appeared in front of him, as if Mr. Trader was watching him. Song Ran's life was taking a dramatic turn. A few days later, Song Ran went to the Hunter Association to check his strength level. Sadly, he still hadn't awakened his powers. To awaken them, he needed an expensive awakening stone, which could only be found in the troll mine. But to go to the mine, he needed a team. Feeling stressed, Song Ran worried about changing the dungeon's evolution and putting others in danger. As he thought about this, Xiao Bai, who had live-streamed Song Ran's fight with Mei Li, approached him. She offered to go with him to the troll mine. They talked while other hunters and hunter department members watched. Song Ran was surrounded by fans who wanted photos with him. Feeling overwhelmed, he grabbed Xiao Bai and left quickly. In the bathroom, Song Ran told Xiao Bai he wanted to stay an ordinary person and warned her that her actions had made him a target of the Huang Tu Guild. Song Ran then talked about joining Xiao Bai's party. He set 2 conditions. All the awakening stones found in the dungeon would be his, and only the 2 of them would go, with no one else. Even though going into the dungeon with just 2 people was dangerous, Song Ran insisted. If Xiao Bai didn't agree, he would cancel the plan. Because of her guild manager's orders, Xiao Bai had no choice but to accept Song Ran's conditions. Even though she was worried about the danger, she agreed to go with him. In short, Song Ran and Xiao Bai arrived at the troll mine dungeon. Knowing the dangers inside, Xiao Bai suggested they wear armor, but Song Ran ignored her and told her to protect herself if she changed her mind. They entered the dungeon, and as soon as they did, Song Ran easily defeated many monsters. As soon as they entered, monsters attacked them. But Song Ran acted quickly and defeated the monsters without trouble. Inspired by Song Ran's bravery, Xiao Bai joined the fight and summoned her beast, Darky. As Song Ran kept fighting, his strength level increased with each monster he defeated. Even though he was at a silver level, he had no problem defeating the dungeon monsters. However, the annoying evolution mode hadn't appeared yet, making their progress easier. Xiao Bai was ready to join the fight, but Song Ran stopped her, saying all the monsters were already defeated. Even though she was impressed by Song Ran's strength, Xiao Bai warned him that dungeon bosses were meant for teams, not just one person. Song Ran replied that they wouldn't know unless they tried. At the entrance to the final boss room, 2 guardian monsters stood on guard. Song Ran told Xiao Bai to handle the 2 guardian monsters, which made her feel underestimated and annoyed. Determined to prove herself, Xiao Bai sent her beast, Darky, to attack the guardians. Darky transformed into a giant wolf and used his claws to strike the monsters. Despite the Guardians' attempts to defend themselves, their shield broke under Darky's strength. Darky kept attacking until he defeated one of the monsters, surprising even Xiao Bai. Although Song Ran was only a bronze rank hunter, his combat level was 37, which was equal to a gold rank. Xiao Bai was shocked and wondered why Song Ran hadn't been promoted. But Song Ran didn't care about promotions. He believed protecting Xiao Bai was more important. With his strength and Darky by his side, Song Ran felt confident they could defeat the final boss. When they opened the door to the boss room, a bright light greeted them. A system notification appeared, saying the evolution mode was enabled and the boss was being updated. Song Ran knew this could happen because the dungeon's evolution mode could activate when they entered. Inside the room, they saw a huge, intimidating monster. Xiao Bai was confused because such a boss shouldn't appear in this dungeon. But with the evolution mode active, they had no choice but to fight. The monster showed its power by slamming its weapon on the ground, causing the area to shake. Xiao Bai bravely prepared to attack. Song Ran ordered Darky to attack, and Darky punched the boss monster in the face, breaking one of its fangs. The monster screamed in pain as Darky continued his assault, clawing and attacking until the monster fell to the ground. Darky lifted the monster and slammed it down with great force. Even though the boss looked scary, it was no match for Darky. Darky struck a victorious pose, thinking the fight was over. Xiao Bai smiled and told Song Ran they didn't need to fight since Darky had already won. But suddenly, the monster stood up again, even though Darky had hurt it badly. Xiao Bai was confused and asked why the boss could revive. Song Ran was ready for this. He explained that every dungeon he entered became harder, with stronger and bigger monsters. He asked for Xiao Bai's help, which touched her. Suddenly, the monster attacked with its hammer, destroying everything around it. Song Ran dodged the attack and countered from above, slashing the monster's back. But the attack didn't seem to hurt the monster much. The monster's endurance was incredible, and Xiao Bai started to worry they might fail. Song Ran explained that only assassin or mage-type hunters could defeat a boss like this. As a bronze rank healer, it was a tough challenge. As Xiao Bai watched in shock, Darky attacked the monster again. But the monster was too strong and hit Darky hard, injuring him badly. Darky was forced out of the fight, and the monster prepared to attack Song Ran and Xiao Bai. The monster let out a loud scream, ready to strike. The story goes back to 3 days earlier, when Song Ran found a mysterious stone. The stone was absorbed by his sword, and the system told him he had gained the power of an assassin. This meant Song Ran had learned the skills of an assassin-type hunter. He took out his blade of evolution sword and activated its assassin mode. The change in the sword surprised and confused Song Ran. Just as the monster was about to attack, Song Ran easily blocked its strike. Song Ran had now mastered 2 types of hunter skills, healer and assassin. This was clear from the change in his sword. When Xiao Bai asked how he did it, Song Ran said it wasn't important right now and that he needed to focus on defeating the monster. As they talked, the monster attacked again, but Song Ran quickly dodged. With fast reflexes, Song Ran attacked the monster with his assassin sword. He jumped into the air and struck from the side, but the monster blocked the attack with a strong shield, causing Song Ran to bounce back. When Song Ran fell to the ground, the monster turned to attack Xiao Bai. But Song Ran got up quickly and blocked the monster's attack, cutting off one of its fingers with his sword. Angry, Song Ran went on a fierce attack, hitting the monster repeatedly until he cut off its head. Even though he was hurt, Song Ran could still stand. He told Xiao Bai to find a safe place because he didn't want to put her in danger. With new determination, Song Ran prepared for the monster's next move. The monster charged at Song Ran, but Song Ran dodged and jumped onto the beast. Despite the monster's efforts to stop him, Song Ran kept attacking. Finally, he delivered a powerful strike to the monster's head, causing it great pain. The monster slowly disappeared, and Song Ran stood victorious as the conqueror of the Troll Mine dungeon. Xiao Bai watched in amazement at Song Ran's strength. She was impressed that a hunter with dual skills could match a gold-level hunter, even without using his healing powers. The Troll Mine mission was complete, and Song Ran had won. As agreed earlier, Song Ran went to heal Xiao Bai's wounds with his healer skill. But then, he pointed his assassin's sword at her. Darky, who had just recovered, got angry and was about to attack Song Ran for threatening Xiao Bai. But Xiao Bai stopped Darky, knowing they couldn't beat Song Ran. Song Ran then put his sword away. Curious, Song Ran asked Xiao Bai why she had live-streamed the fight and followed him into the dangerous dungeon. Xiao Bai then revealed her true plan. She wanted to invite Song Ran to join her guild, the Clover Guild. 2 years ago, the Clover Guild was the greatest guild. Its leader was a powerful alpha-level hunter. But a monster attack destroyed the human world, and a super strong boss appeared. The monster was too powerful, and many of the guild's elite hunters were killed. The guild leader fought the monster alone, saving the guild from total destruction. Sadly, only the leader survived among the elites. This caused the Clover Guild to decline and be forgotten. Now, the Clover Guild's goal is to find hunters with the potential to become alpha-level hunters and make them leaders of a new, strong Clover Guild. They believe Song Ran fits this role, even though he isn't an alpha rank yet. They think he has the potential to become a king-class hunter. However, Song Ran hasn't fully accepted Xiao Bai's invitation to join the guild. Finally, Song Ran gave the awakening stone to Xiao Bai and warned her not to look for him again. He believed he brought bad luck to those around him. Then, Song Ran left the scene. The scene changes to a car, where the leader of the Clover Guild, a female hunter named Zhao Jingyin, learns that Song Ran has conquered the Troll Mine dungeon. She sees this as a great chance to meet Song Ran and talk to him directly. 3 days after meeting Xiao Bai, Song Ran has been working hard and has cleared many dungeons. However, he notices something strange. The more experience points he earns, the slower his level-up speed becomes. Still, Song Ran is happy with the XP he has gained. He then looks at the awakening stone he got from the troll mine, curious about what new ability it might give him. When he activates it, he is surprised to learn he has gained a new skill called Siphon Heal, which is a powerful upgrade to his healing ability. Even though Song Ran isn't a strong healer, he isn't sure how useful this new skill will be. As he thinks about this, he hears a knock on his door late at night. Some members of the Hunter Association enter Song Ran's home without permission. They say they are investigating him because they find it suspicious that only 2 hunters completed the Troll Mine dungeon, which is meant for a team of 5. Although Song Ran is unsure about the investigation, Zhao Jingyin, the leader of the Clover Guild, arrives and joins the conversation. Song Ran asks what they are looking for, thinking it might be related to the past hunter massacre or the changes in the dungeon after he entered it. But he is wrong. The real reason the Hunter Association is there is to recruit Song Ran. They offer to tell him the hidden truth about his mother's death, which has been kept secret from him. Not knowing the truth about his mother's death is what pushed Song Ran to become a hunter in the first place. Zhao Jingyin tells Song Ran she can't reveal everything yet because he doesn't have enough hunter points. These points are needed to access certain information within the Hunter Association, including the secret about his mother's death. She informs him about an upcoming seasonal dungeon called the Sea of Forgetfulness. If Song Ran joins and completes it, he will earn hunter points. Jing Yin also advises Song Ran to update his hunter rank, as it is connected to the information about his mother's death. After hearing this, Song Ran agrees to work with the Hunter Association and join the dungeon. The scene shifts to the Clover Guild office, where Jing Yin thanks Xiao Bai for sharing information about Song Ran's abilities during the Troll Mine mission. Jing Yin and the guild recognize Song Ran's potential to become an alpha rank hunter and plan to watch him closely, hoping he will lead the revival of the Clover Guild. Jing Yin mentions the upcoming seasonal dungeon to Xiao Bai, who says she understands. The scene then moves to the Hunter Association office, where Song Ran goes to update his hunter rank. He disguises himself to avoid being recognized and enters the evaluation room for the rank upgrade. There, he meets the head of the Clover Guild, who tells him he will meet someone during the update. When Song Ran enters the room, he is greeted by Byron, also known as Mr. Trader, who says he has been waiting for Song Ran for a long time. As Song Ran enters, Mr. Trader throws his cigarette ashtray aside and suddenly attacks. Song Ran manages to block the attack, but the force of it creates a hole in the wall, shocking everyone who sees it. Curious, Song Ran asks Mr. Trader who he is and what he wants. Mr. Trader replies that he is there to test Song Ran's strength. It was clear that Mr. Trader was a very strong opponent. He had a special power called levitation, which allowed him to control the wind. Song Ran attacked Mr. Trader, but he was shocked when Mr. Trader called this a judgment. Determined to get answers, Song Ran moved closer to attack again. With quick movements, he cut through the rubble and got close to Mr. Trader, saying he didn't want to hurt him and just wanted an explanation. Mr. Trader laughed and asked if Song Ran really thought he could hurt him. When Song Ran reached him, he used a powerful attack called Balance Blade. The clash between Song Ran's attack and Mr. Trader was intense, but Mr. Trader easily blocked it with just one finger. Mr. Trader warned Song Ran that the world is tough and one mistake could lead to disaster. He accused Song Ran of being too confident. Angry, Mr. Trader kicked Song Ran, making him fall. As Song Ran tried to get up, thick smoke surrounded him, blocking his vision. When the smoke cleared, he was shocked to find himself on the rooftop of the Hunter Association building, with no idea how he got there. Mr. Trader continued their conversation, saying the difference in their strength was too big and that he wasn't even trying during their fight. As he spoke, Mr. Trader floated high in the air. Mr. Trader boasted about his ability to fly and hover. He mocked Song Ran, saying he couldn't possibly win. He challenged Song Ran to survive one of his attacks, saying if he could, Mr. Trader would pass on the title. This insult made Song Ran even more determined. He activated his assassin mode and siphon heal, which increased his strength, speed, and resistance. Even though the odds were against him, Song Ran refused to give up. Mr. Trader seemed surprised by Song Ran's new power. He used his signature move, the tornado towering technique, which created a thunderstorm. A loud explosion shook the city, but it wasn't from Mr. Trader's technique. Mr. Trader then landed on the roof and ended the test. He said Song Ran had passed based on his performance, which surprised Song Ran. Mr. Trader explained that their fight wasn't about ranking, but about showing Song Ran's strength. He said he wasn't interested in games and didn't have time to waste. Another loud explosion echoed through the city, signaling something big had happened. It was confirmed that a huge dungeon portal had appeared in the city center, similar to an incident 50 years ago. This could mean that monster attacks on the human world might start earlier than expected. At the Team G notification hall, a dangerous alarm sounded, and the red light on the monitor flashed. The Hunter Association team quickly detected the portal and contacted hunters to respond to the emergency. Chief Zhao, the lead investigator, was also informed about the portal. Mr. Trader and Song Ran, watching from the rooftop, discussed the portal's appearance. Mr. Trader was worried it had appeared earlier than expected and wondered if it was due to a detector error or a change in the situation. Even though alpha-level hunters were ready, they were busy with the gray gate inside the dungeon. Mr. Trader acknowledged Song Ran's improved strength and said he was now ready to enter the Sea of Forgetfulness dungeon. He offered to take Song Ran there through a portal on the 3rd floor of the Hunter Association lobby, which connected to the Sky Tower. Mr. Trader told Song Ran that his hunter rank would depend on how far he could go in the dungeon. Suddenly, Song Ran got an urgent message about a monster invasion in the city center. Hunters who defeated the monsters would be rewarded based on how many they killed. While watching a live broadcast, Song Ran saw Xiao Bai fighting with other hunters. Although Mr. Trader thought Song Ran was worried about Xiao Bai, Song Ran said he was only there to earn hunter points. Determined to help, Song Ran rushed to the city center to fight the monsters and assist Xiao Bai. The city was in chaos as monsters came out of the dungeon portal and caused destruction. Hunters, including Song Ran, arrived with their guild mates to fight the creatures. Song Ran moved through the panicked crowd and headed toward the monsters. He saw a huge creature and activated his assassin mode sword to fight it. While battling, he noticed a little girl holding a doll in a nearby building window. The monster destroyed the building, and the girl fell to the ground, screaming for help. Song Ran was torn between fighting the monster and saving the child. Suddenly, Darky appeared, jumping and catching the falling girl. He landed safely, holding the child. This showed Darky's incredible skill and bravery. When Song Ran and Xiao Bai met, Song Ran asked if Xiao Bai was okay, showing his concern. Xiao Bai said he was only slightly hurt from the earlier fight and showed Song Ran his injured hand. Song Ran used his healing powers to treat Xiaobai's wounds. Xiaobai blushed at Song Ran's kindness and explained that many high-level hunters were there, but none could defeat the monsters because of their strong protective barrier. The hunters didn't know how to break the barrier around the monster. Suddenly, a motorcyclist appeared, speeding toward the beast. Song Ran, Darky, and Xiaobai joined the attack. The giant monster was being attacked by the hunters, but its protector made their attacks useless. The motorcyclist flew through the air and hit the monster with a powerful double strike. He kept attacking, jumping over the monster's back. Sadly, his motorcycle crashed and exploded, but the monster was unharmed because of its guardian. Determined to attack the monster's weak spot, Song Ran and Darky jumped into action. They flew through the air, ready to use their full power. With Darky's help, Song Ran launched himself toward the monster. At the same time, the red-haired hunter kept attacking the monster's feet. When Song Ran reached the monster, he swung his sword with all his strength, but the barrier was too strong. After searching, he found the barrier's weakness and stabbed it with his sword. The attack hurt the monster badly, and its barrier broke. As the barrier shattered, Song Ran was thrown into the air, risking a dangerous fall. But Xiaobai acted quickly, telling Darky to catch him. Darky moved fast and safely caught Song Ran. With the barrier gone, the other hunters were shocked. They had tried many times to break it but failed. Song Ran had succeeded where they couldn't. The red-haired hunter then signaled for another hunter to join the attack. Together, they used their full power and defeated the monster. In the crowd, the red-haired hunter lied, saying he had broken the monster's barrier. But everyone knew Song Ran was the one who did it. The red-haired hunter was angry that Song Ran had outshined him. Suddenly, a new hunter appeared, a woman carrying a huge weapon called the Quantum Cannon. This was Su Ku, a member of the Huang Tu Guild. She hated Song Ran because her older brother had died in a dungeon led by Song Ran's team. Even though Song Ran was the only survivor, Su Ku blamed him for her brother's death. Su Ku had joined the Huang Tu Guild to defeat Song Ran. She arrived to help the hunters fight the invading monsters, not knowing Song Ran was nearby. They began fighting giant monsters, but like before, the monsters had strong barriers that blocked their attacks. Even defeated monsters came back to life. Wanting to earn hunter points, Su Ku attacked the monster with her weapon, but the barrier stopped her attack. Only Song Ran's strength could break it. The other hunters begged Song Ran to step in and destroy the barrier again. Song Ran and Darky quickly jumped into action. As they moved toward the monster, a hunter with healing powers boosted Song Ran's strength. With this extra power and his assassin skills, Song Ran became even stronger, surrounded by a bright mana aura. Darky helped by pushing Song Ran toward the monster. When Song Ran reached it, his powerful attack broke the monster's barrier. This earned him a new skill called Phantom, which let him turn into a shadow and avoid attacks. Song Ran pulled out his sword, used his new skill, and leaped onto the monster to continue the fight. Song Ran and Darky were determined to defeat the monster. Another hunter with healing abilities joined them and used their power to make Song Ran stronger. With this boost, Song Ran felt a surge of energy, and a bright mana aura surrounded him. Darky grabbed Song Ran's hand and threw him toward the monster with great force. As Song Ran flew toward the monster, he faced its barrier. But with the help of the other hunters and his own assassin power, he broke through the barrier and hurt the monster. After breaking the barrier, Song Ran gained a new skill called Phantom, which let him turn into a shadow and avoid attacks. He drew his sword, jumped onto the monster, and activated his new skill. With the Phantom skill active, Song Ran turned into a shadow-like figure. The monster tried to attack him, but its attacks passed right through him without causing harm. Although Song Ran's movements were still limited, he could now control gravity and fly freely in the air. This new power was a big advantage as he prepared for the next part of the battle. Determined to defeat the monster alone, Song Ran used his Phantom power to fly and attack the monster with his sword. A red-haired hunter, who saw Song Ran's power, felt jealous and admitted how helpful it was to have other hunters support him with their buff skills. Not wanting to fall behind, the red-haired hunter charged at the monster using his drag sword technique. Song Ran was surprised when the hunter used a powerful quantum cannon weapon. It seemed like the two were competing to see who could defeat the monster first. Along with Su Ke's gun cannon, the two hunters attacked the monster fiercely, causing it great pain. The other hunters watching the fight noticed the monster was weakening as its weak points were hit repeatedly. They all joined the battle, hoping to finish off the monster. However, the monster became enraged and proved too strong for the hunters. As it charged towards Su Ke, the three hunters were in serious danger as smaller monsters closed in on them. Suddenly, Song Ran, in his phantom form, appeared inside the monster's body. He activated his sword mode and began moving with the monster, jumping and attacking fiercely. This time, Song Ran used his healing sword mode and managed to hurt the monster. The hunters were amazed by Song Ran's skills, as he was a rare dual-type hunter with both healing and assassin powers. In one quick move, Song Ran turned one of the monster's hands to stone, stopping it from moving. He then cut it off and crushed the petrified monster. With the monster weakened by Song Ran's attack, the hunters eagerly joined the fight, hoping to defeat it for good. The battle reached its peak as the hunters used all their skills and abilities. Song Ran, in his phantom form, got inside the monster's body and caused serious damage with his healing sword. The other hunters joined the attack until Song Ran delivered the final blow, cutting down the monster. He earned 164 hunter points and unlimited XP. The victory was celebrated with cheers, but the red-haired hunter, who was the team leader, approached Song Ran to talk. However, Su Ke, realizing the hunter who defeated the monster was Song Ran, came forward with hostile intentions, ready to fight him. With a heavy heart, Song Ran faced Su Ke, who wanted revenge for her brother's death. Even though Xiao Bai tried to protect Song Ran, Su Ke threatened to hurt him if he got in her way. When Song Ran took off his hat and glasses, Su Ke recognized him as the cursed hunter blamed for the massacre that killed her brother and his team. Song Ran didn't know what to say, as rumors and lies about the tragedy had spread, accusing him of causing the massacre and calling him a cursed hunter. Despite this, Song Ran apologized to Su Ke and accepted the blame for what happened. But before Su Ke could harm him, the team leader stepped in and stopped the bullet aimed at Song Ran. The chairman then told them they had formed an alliance to defeat the monster, and Song Ran would be joining them. Just as they thought they were safe, a jeep from the Hunter Association arrived. The driver was on an urgent mission and quickly gathered all the hunters to leave the area. He warned them that stronger monsters were coming, and a dangerous portal was about to appear. A hunter who didn't know what was happening asked why the portals were a problem. Another hunter, who was informed, ordered everyone to leave immediately because the portals were a huge threat. To their shock, the monster they had defeated earlier came back to life and pointed at its stomach. The scene then shifted to a monster sitting on a throne, who seemed to be the king of the monsters invading Earth. Back in the town center, they saw that the monster they had defeated had turned to ashes. Using its last bit of energy, the monster opened the portal, shocking the hunters. Once the portal opened, everything nearby would be pulled into it, just like what happened 50 years ago. The portal looked different this time, but before they knew it, they were all sucked inside. When they arrived, they found themselves in a dungeon called the Forgotten Sea, somewhere inside the portal. The scene then showed Song Ran, who was still in the portal. A system notification announced that the portal had loaded successfully. Suddenly, a woman named Doris appeared and introduced herself as Song Ran's AI guide. She explained that Song Ran had been redirected to a place called the Sky Portal and was now in the Sky Tower. Song Ran asked Doris why he was the only one in the Sky Tower and where the other hunters were. Doris said the other hunters were likely in the Forgotten Sea and that Song Ran was special, which was why he was brought here. To Song Ran's surprise, Doris also knew about his goal to uncover the truth behind his mother's death and seemed to know his entire life story. Song Ran was shocked and asked how Doris knew so much. Doris explained that Song Ran was an awakened hunter, stronger than others, which was why he was brought to the Sky Tower alone. Although Song Ran wanted to join the other hunters in the Forgotten Sea, Doris advised against it, saying his presence would put them in danger and change the dungeon's nature. With this explanation, Song Ran and Doris arrived at the door of the Sky Tower. The Sky Tower underwent a change, and the sky turned red, signaling a higher level of difficulty. In the Forgotten Sea, Xiaobai looked for Song Ran but couldn't find him. The other hunters also said they hadn't seen him. Suddenly, a messenger from the Hunters Association announced the arrival of the first batch of bosses. A strong wind began to blow, bringing a yellow mist and rocks like a sandstorm. Out of the mist came a powerful creature known as the God of the Sand and Sea. The Keeper of the Storm Door was a strong being who controlled the sand in the area. He took out his book and staff, announcing that the great god would judge humans for polluting the world. The sandstorm grew stronger, and the situation looked grim. The team leader of the hunters stepped forward to attack, telling his team to watch his movements. The creature knew about the attack and used a powerful skill, declaring the start of its judgment. Meanwhile, the scene shifted to Song Ran fighting in the Sky Tower. He had easily made it through the 9th floor. At first, he thought the Sky Tower would be easy, but he realized it would only get harder as he moved to the next floor. As Song Ran entered the tower, he knew the rule: a boss monster guarded every 10th floor. Defeating the boss would give him a reward, with better rewards on higher floors. Excited, Song Ran stepped into the portal to the first 10th floor, ready to face the boss waiting for him. When he arrived, he found the monster relaxed and, surprisingly, it could speak human language. The monster greeted Song Ran, surprised that someone had finally taken on the challenge. The monster was huge and strong, pulling out its sword to attack. But Song Ran quickly used his phantom skill, turning into a shadow and dodging the monster's strike. The monster was shocked when Song Ran reappeared behind it, ready to attack with his assassin sword. Although Song Ran managed to wound the monster, it was far from defeated. The monster countered with a powerful blast of chi, easily pushing Song Ran back. Song Ran realized the monster's chi was mixed with the element of fire and the berserk element, making it a berserk-type boss. The monster's strength left Song Ran amazed. Song Ran struggled against the element of fire and the berserk element, the first boss in the Sky Tower. Even though the monster hit him hard, Song Ran didn't seem hurt. The monster mocked Song Ran for being weak, but Song Ran fired back, saying the monster was disappointing compared to other bosses he had beaten. This made the monster even angrier. Gathering his strength, Song Ran activated his Siphon Heal power to boost his abilities. The monster attacked fiercely, but Song Ran was ready. He let himself get hit on purpose, feeling pain throughout his body. But this time, he had activated his Assassin Mode sword, and with the extra strength from Siphon Heal, he declared he would fight seriously and defeat the monster quickly. The monster was shocked by Song Ran's healing abilities and grew more annoyed. In anger, the monster swung its huge sword at Song Ran, but to its surprise, Song Ran blocked the attack with his bare hands. He even gripped the blade until it broke, showing his incredible strength. Song Ran confidently said he could easily defeat monsters like this now. The boss monster's sword was destroyed, leaving it in disbelief. How could Song Ran shatter its weapon? The monster grew more frustrated and tried to attack with its hands, but Song Ran's counterattack cut off and shattered the monster's hand. Throughout this, Song Ran stayed calm and unaffected. Song Ran revealed he was just testing the monster's strength before launching a full attack. He defeated the monster using his ultimate skill and held its head as a prize. He tossed the head aside and prepared to move to the next floor, thinking about the past. He remembered meeting someone with strength and eyes like his own. This made him realize that monsters weren't demons, they were humans. After his victory, Song Ran received a valuable item that could be fused with his sword. The scene then shifted to the Hunter Association, where members of the Flame Dragon Guild gathered to enter the Sea of Forgetfulness dungeon with other hunters. In the Sea of Forgetfulness dungeon, the hunters were fighting the God of Sand. Despite their efforts, even their magic spells couldn't break through the sandstorm. Soon, the hunters felt a curse taking hold, causing their heads to throb with pain. The monster, hiding in the sandstorm, had cast a spell causing the headache. However, Xiaobai seemed unaffected. A man from the Hunter Association explained that the magic was a curse called the Three Mysteries, which randomly cursed half the players and drained their life force. This magic was said to come from Thoth, the ancient Egyptian god of wisdom. The curse continued to spread, threatening to kill all the hunters unless it was broken with a healing spell. The stronger the healing spell, the better the chance of breaking the curse. The hunters asked the healers for help, but the healers were exhausted from fighting monsters earlier and had little mana left. The Hunter Association suggested a second plan, attacking the monster's wind wall. Strong hunters could use their attack skills to break through the wall and reach Thoth. If they succeeded, the wind wall would disappear. To stop the curse from spreading, the hunters decided to attack the monster. However, they faced a new challenge, the possibility of illusions. Suddenly, one hunter felt a sharp pain in his head, a sign that the monster had cursed him. The hunters panicked, realizing that dying in the dungeon meant dying in real life. One hunter refused to give up and charged at the wind wall, trying to break through. Despite their efforts, they couldn't penetrate the wall, and the monster counterattacked, knocking the hunter to the ground. Surprisingly, the Hunter Association's jeep was also trapped inside the wind wall. It seemed the monster, Thoth, was at the center of the chaos. The jeep, driven at high speed, broke through the wall easily, becoming the hunters' last hope to save their friends. The driver, skilled in the advanced demon sword/slash technique, bravely approached Thoth and defeated the monster with a single strike. The monster was a magic type, weak in close combat. If not for the wind wall, the hunter would have defeated it easily. The hunter sword technique was so strong that it killed the monster in one hit. But their victory didn't last long. The original monster suddenly reappeared, shocking the hunters. They wondered if the monster they had defeated was just an illusion. The monster then attacked with dark magic, creating a monster's hand. The hunter was stunned by the power of the monster's magic. Just as the monster's attack was about to hit the hunter, Darky stepped in to protect him. With a quick strike, Darky knocked the monster's arm, causing its wand to fall and fly away. The hunter realized the wand was the source of the monster's magic. Without it, the monster would be powerless. Darky grabbed the wand and threw it to Xiao Bai to keep it away from the monster. When Xiao Bai held the wand, she saw its memories. She learned how to defeat the Thoth monsters. These monsters collected hunters' souls to create dark magic illusions. The monster's illusion attack headed toward Xiao Bai, but she was ready, holding the magic wand. Thoth was known as the god of blasphemy and illusion, but Xiao Bai was determined to end its reign. Xiao Bai defeated the monster with her magic and won. With this victory, the main wave of monsters in the Forgotten Sea was also defeated, and Xiao Bai took the Thoth monster's staff. As a skilled mage, she ended the monster's terror. The monster's cursed magic disappeared, and the fallen hunters began to rise. Their mission continued as they aimed for the golden light at the center of the pyramid, determined to reach their final goal. Meanwhile, Song Ran reached the 50th floor of Sky Tower. He used his reward to restore his mana, preparing for the boss monster. As soon as his mana was full, he felt the boss monster's aura. Strangely, the monster looked like a human and could speak human language. It said it hadn't had a good fight in a while. Song Ran thought the monsters in Sky Tower had been brainwashed to only think about fighting. The boss monster then challenged Song Ran to a battle. The monster's body glowed red, and it attacked Song Ran with its sword. Song Ran dodged, but he started to doubt if he could win. The monster kept attacking, but Song Ran blocked its ranged skill. The monster mocked Song Ran, telling him to fight to the death. In a quick move, the monster hurt Song Ran, making him fall. The monster laughed, saying Song Ran was no match for the monsters it had beaten before. But Song Ran refused to give up. Despite his injury, he stood up. The monster then used its powerful skill, Blood Prison Shura Field. The monster summoned countless swords from a red circle and attacked Song Ran. In response, Song Ran activated his phantom skill, turning into a shadow so the swords passed through him without harm. Using this chance, Song Ran entered assassin mode and struck the monster from behind with his sword. The attack seemed to hurt the monster, but it urged Song Ran to show his true strength. As Song Ran prepared to attack again, an explosion threw him back. He was confused because his phantom skill should have protected him. He wondered if the skill had worn off. The monster removed its blindfold, revealing many eyes that could cancel any magic. As long as its magic eye was active, the enemy couldn't use magical abilities. This was why Song Ran's phantom skill didn't work. The monster admitted that Song Ran was so strong it had to use its magic eye against him. The monster then used its final attack, swinging a sword that looked even bigger than before. The sword flew towards Song Ran. Song Ran, who could use his phantom skills, tried to block and dodge the attack. But despite his efforts, the monster's strike badly injured him. In a desperate moment, Song Ran declared they would both die and used his ultimate skill, attacking the monster with everything he had. The attack created a bright, shining light that helped Song Ran break through the monster's strong defense. Song Ran told the monster to surrender, explaining that while the monster might come back to life temporarily, he would die forever. With unyielding determination, Song Ran finally won as the monster slowly crumbled and disappeared. The monster's last words were that the power of nothingness had given it its demonic energy. A human-like shadow was reflected in the water below the monster, hinting that it might have once been a human turned into a guardian monster. The Sky Tower was full of mysteries that troubled Song Ran as he passed the 50th floor. Despite his progress, Song Ran decided to return, realizing he wasn't strong enough to reach the 60th floor yet. Back in the Sky Tower lobby, Song Ran met Doris, who gave him gifts for reaching the 50th floor. Suddenly, a system notification appeared, saying Song Ran had earned enough XP to reach platinum level. The notification warned that Song Ran would be sent back to the human world in just 3 seconds. Song Ran returned from the Sky Tower and went to the Hunter Association office. He wanted to learn more about the Sky Tower's mysteries and was determined to complete every floor. The young hunter felt his evolutionary sword was connected to his mother's death, which happened inside the Sky Tower. As Song Ran left the office, he was greeted by an architect from one of the guilds in Song Ran City. Soon after, the hunters found themselves in the Sea of Forgetfulness dungeon, taking a break at a place called the Fanadu Green Continent. They were surprised to find a base camp where they could rest and were warmly welcomed by the friendly locals. According to the Hunter Association, there were 8 golden pyramids in the Sky Tower. The hunters were determined to uncover their secrets and find out what was at the heart of this mysterious place. To complete their mission, the hunters had to conquer each pyramid. As they discussed their plans, the tribal leader approached them with a secret about the Sea of Sand. The old man warned that even though they had defeated the god Thoth, they would still face many challenges in the chosen god's battle. They would need to defeat not just Thoth, but 7 other powerful monsters and gods. The man from the Hunters Association started to name the divine beasts they would face, but the old tribal chief interrupted him. The chief insisted that only he knew the true secrets of the Sea of Sand and that the hunters must be ready for what was ahead. The old tribal chief reminded the hunters that each god they defeated would mean one pyramid conquered. By successfully navigating through each small pyramid, they would eventually reach the main pyramid and have a chance to win. Long ago, the desert was ruled by a god named Ra, and under his rule, the people lived in peace. But when the 8 great gods gathered, they put Ra into a deep sleep, starting a battle for power among themselves. The winner of the chosen god's battle would become the new ruler of the desert as a god. The prize for defeating a god was the chance to fight for godly rule. When Xiao Bai heard this, she realized she might be considered a god herself. The battle for power in the desert never ends, with new rulers rising from each fight. The old tribal chief continued his story, saying he believed one day the god Ra would wake up and stop the endless conflict. The hunters listened quietly until the man from the Hunter Association spoke. He said it was all just a game, and their only job was to follow orders from the Hunter Association and find the other 6 gods. With that, the Sea of Forgetfulness dungeon officially began. Just then, Suku announced she would conquer one of the smaller pyramids alone, surprising everyone. The others doubted one person could do it, but Suku was determined to prove them wrong. The association representative explained that the pyramid's difficulty would adjust based on the number of people exploring it. Fewer people meant an easier challenge. Hearing this, the leader of the hunter team decided to take on the remaining pyramids with his team. The scene shifted to Song Ran and the guild architect. Song Ran wondered how the man knew he had returned from the Sky Tower. The man explained he could track Song Ran's location using an elemental and hunter system. The architect invited Song Ran to lunch, but Song Ran declined because he wasn't dressed properly. The man kindly offered clothes so Song Ran wouldn't have to go home first. Dressed in the new clothes, Song Ran followed the man for their talk. Meanwhile, in the Sea of Forgetfulness dungeon, a red-haired hunter named Si Yin explored one of the pyramids. As he walked, the candles in the room suddenly lit up on their own, surprising him. The room looked like an arena, with torchlight creating a tense atmosphere. Suddenly, a monster god appeared from above, Saite, the former god of war and power. Determined not to lose, Si Yin introduced himself as the leader of the Yanlong Guild and the first echelon of the future. The monster was pleased to find a worthy opponent in Si Yin. Si Yin started the fight with a technique called Holly Slash, but the monster easily blocked it. Si Yin kept attacking, but the monster's strength was too much, brushing off every strike. Si Yin was shocked by the monster's power. The monster countered with its own attacks, but Si Yin managed to survive them. Si Yin wasn't prepared for the monster to be as strong as a diamond tier hunter. Saite soon realized Si Yin wasn't as weak as he thought. Feeling underestimated, Si Yin attacked again, charging at the monster, but the monster blocked it. The battle between Si Yin and Saite grew more intense, with each attack stronger than the last. The outcome was shocking. Saite punched Si Yin from below with such force that Si Yin was thrown back. The monster didn't stop, hitting Si Yin's back and sending him flying through the air. Saite's incredible power left Si Yin struggling to get up. Si Yin knew the situation was serious. Without a healer, defeating boss monsters was much harder. He drank a potion to heal himself and continued fighting. Meanwhile, Su Ku was in another pyramid, ready for battle with her cannon weapon. But strange things happened. She saw no one in the arena, and her thoughts turned to her problem with Song Ran. Su Ku felt torn. She suspected Song Ran might have killed her brother, but she also felt he had saved her life, making him a good person. She felt guilty for threatening Song Ran earlier. Suddenly, a voice echoed in her mind, saying her choice was wrong and filling her with hateful thoughts about her father, who had killed her mother. This inner conflict caused her great pain. Even though she fired her cannon in all directions, the voice kept haunting her, weakening her mind. According to the tribal chief, Su Ku was in grave danger. She was in the small pyramid where the boss monster god Horus lived. The scene shifts to Song Ran, who is talking with the guild's architect, Sun Wu, at the Hunter Association office. What they are discussing is unknown. Back in the Sea of Forgetfulness dungeon, the leader explains more about the Horus Pyramid. According to Si Yin, the Horus Pyramid is like a trap-filled maze. The boss monsters here are hard to recognize, and their power is called God Dream. These bosses can enter their opponent's mind, control their thoughts, and create illusions. This has caused hunter teams, under the influence of these illusions, to turn on each other and cause harm. Su Ku was under the control of the monster Horus and had been chasing Song Ran in her mind. In the illusion, she was hit by a car and fell unconscious in front of Song Ran. In the illusion, Song Ran seemed like the villain, but the truth was unclear. The scene then moves to the pyramid where Si Yin is fighting the monster Saite. The battle is almost over, with Si Yin badly hurt and the monster unharmed. Si Yin tried to heal himself with potions, but they were all gone. The monster declared it was time for Si Yin's death. Si Yin lay on the ground, too injured to stand. Just as the monster was about to attack, a savior appeared, Song Ran. Song Ran suddenly entered the scene and attacked Saite, surprising Si Yin. Song Ran thanked Si Yin for saving him from Su Ku's bullet earlier. Now, it was Song Ran's turn to repay the favor and protect Si Yin. Song Ran used his healing powers to treat Si Yin's wounds. The scene then shifts back to the Hunter Association office, where Song Ran is talking with the guild architect, Sun Wu. It turns out Sun Wu had teleported Song Ran to Si Yin's location. Once Si Yin's body healed, he stood up. The two decided to talk later, as they first needed to work together to fight the monster Saite. The monster used its ultimate technique, the Spear of War, which was incredibly powerful and caused massive destruction. Si Yin told Song Ran not to be afraid, as they had the advantage with 2 against 1. But the situation changed when the monster created an army of fearless monsters to fight them. Song Ran and Si Yin were now surrounded by thousands of monsters, including the powerful Sai Te. Song Ran and Si Yin found themselves surrounded by artificial skeleton monsters created by Sai Te. Without hesitation, they started fighting, using their skills to take down the monsters one by one. Despite Song Ran's strength, the huge number of skeleton monsters made the fight tough. The two warriors wondered how they could defeat the endless horde as long as the final boss, Sai Te, was still alive. Song Ran asked Si Yin if he had ever been to the Sky Tower, where they might find a solution to their problem. Even though they could defeat the skeleton monsters, their numbers were overwhelming, and the source of the monsters, Sai Te, was still a big threat. As long as Sai Te was alive, the army of skeleton monsters would never stop. The scene shifts to the hunter's base camp outside the pyramids, where reinforcements from various hunter guilds have arrived. Among them is Lu Ji Yao, the guild master of the Clover Guild, who came after a request from the Hunter Association. Also present is Chi Su Yin, the guild master of the Jiangcheng Guild. The Huangtu Guild has arrived too, with their leader holding a grudge against Song Ran. They brought two special hired hunters with awakened powers. One of them is Xing Seiyu, the leader of the Royal Map Guild. The other hunters are stunned and silent, as these special hunters are part of the first echelon of powerful hunters. The story then returns to the pyramid where Song Ran and Si Yin are fighting the endless horde of skeleton monsters. During the fight, Song Ran remembers the words of Sai Te, which seem to hold the key to understanding the game's mechanics. With this new information, he continues attacking the skeleton monsters. He realizes the army of skeletons is controlled by the final boss and is part of the system that determines the difficulty of the boss fight. Si Yin remembers what Mr. Lu said about the number of hunters affecting the difficulty. They conclude that the increased number of hunters in the pyramid, due to Song Ran's arrival, is why there are so many skeleton monsters. The two warriors realize they can only end the endless fight by defeating the final boss. Ironically, Song Ran arrived to help Si Yin, but instead of making things easier, his presence made the fight harder. The huge number of skeleton monsters made it almost impossible for them to reach the final boss, Sai Te. Despite the odds, Song Ran kept fighting, attacking the skeleton monsters. He then revealed a surprise weapon. He had combined an item from the Sky Tower with his blade of evolution sword. Si Yin looked confused as Song Ran explained that he was an awakened hunter, part of the elite group known as the First Echelon. Si Yin shared his long-time dream of becoming an awakened hunter and expressed frustration that Song Ran had kept his awakened status a secret. But their conversation was interrupted as the skeleton monsters approached. Si Yin used his drag sword art technique to buy time for Song Ran to finish combining his weapon. Finally, Song Ran successfully merged the item with his blade of evolution sword. He then gathered other items, ready to face the army of monsters. Si Yin, running out of mana, urgently asked Song Ran to finish enhancing his sword. Song Ran completed the fusion, and the sword now looked larger and stronger. The skeleton monsters charged, but Song Ran was ready to show his new power and make the monsters, especially Sai Te, regret challenging him. With one powerful strike, Song Ran cut through the monster in front of him. The attack was so strong it also hit the monsters behind it. Si Yin was amazed by Song Ran's incredible strength. Song Ran declared the skeletons were no match for him, and he was now focused on defeating Sai Te. The other skeletons trembled in fear as Song Ran continued his attack, taking down the remaining monsters. Even though each attack reduced his XP, Song Ran's healing skill canceled the effects, allowing him to fight without stopping. However, using healing skills used a lot of mana, so Song Ran needed to finish the battle quickly before his mana ran out. He faced Sai Te, ready for a final showdown. Song Ran attacked, slashing the monster, but Sai Te survived the hit. The battle wasn't over yet, as Si Yin sneaked up from behind and stabbed the monster's arm. Angry, Sai Te grabbed Si Yin's sword and used its signature move, Withering Lightning, a powerful and dangerous attack. Withering Lightning was a devastating move that could hit anyone nearby, including Si Yin. Even Song Ran had to retreat after seeing the monster's attack. Despite the pain, Si Yin refused to give up. He acknowledged Song Ran as a strong hunter, but asked for a chance to defeat the final boss himself. Song Ran agreed and let Si Yin take on the monster capable of using withering lightning. The monster Sai Te laughed mockingly when it heard the word trust. It said Si Yin had no chance of winning because the difference in their strength was too great. The monster grew even stronger, using its powerful move and causing Si Yin immense pain. Song Ran grew worried for Si Yin, but also faced skeleton soldiers attacking from behind. Despite the odds, Si Yin held onto his sword and refused to give up. With determination, Si Yin kept thrusting his sword into Sai Te. Even as the sword began to crack, a red aura emerged from it. Si Yin activated a skill called Broken Crimson Lightning, using the explosive power of the cracking sword. The skill hit the monster, causing a massive explosion. In the end, Si Yin won, defeating Sai Te. As the monster disappeared, it warned that it would return after the dungeon reset, bringing chaos to hunters in the future. With the final boss defeated, all the monsters disappeared, and the system congratulated the two hunters. Si Yin received a prize, an item to enhance a weapon. But since his sword was destroyed, he couldn't continue fighting. Out of loyalty to Song Ran, he gave the item to him, trusting Song Ran to clear the Sea of Forgetfulness dungeon and keep fighting. Suddenly, Song Ran heard a system notification saying an oddity had been detected, and the dungeon would reset immediately. He realized the changes in the dungeon weren't caused by him. A bright light appeared in the sky, changing the situation. A door opened, revealing a monster sitting on a throne. They hadn't met this monster before, and time was running out. The story then shifts back to Song Ran in the White Room. The dungeons had evolved and were about to upgrade, increasing their difficulty. The Sea of Forgetfulness dungeon, once a hot desert, suddenly turned into a winter landscape. This unexpected change was due to the dungeon's evolution. No one could have predicted snow in the desert. Song Ran eventually reached the hunter's gathering place. Xiao Baiyang was relieved to finally find Song Ran after searching for him. When she saw him, the leader of the Huang Tu Guild approached and said they needed to talk. The guild leader accused Song Ran of causing the recent changes in the dungeon and, in anger, grabbed Song Ran's clothes. He reminded Song Ran of a past incident where Song Ran had embarrassed the Huang Tu Guild during a fight with Lu Meili. Because of these accusations, Song Ran now had to face the consequences. He calmly removed the man's grip and pulled out his evolved sword. Just as the situation was getting tense, another hunter, who had also undergone an awakening like Song Ran, stepped in. This hunter confirmed that the changes in the dungeon were not Song Ran's fault. The hunter then urged everyone to stay focused and ready for what was coming. Mr. Lu asked the tribal leader about the sudden snow in the desert. The elder replied that it was a blessing from the great god Horus, marking the start of a new, glorious era. The elder, who had once been a kind old man, had now turned into a monstrous creature. He warned the hunters, who were unhappy with the gifts from the great god, that they were a threat and would soon face the monster's anger. The monster growled that none of the hunters would survive as it prepared to attack. The elder, now a massive dragon monster, flew above the hunters, ready to unleash a powerful fiery attack that could destroy everything in its path. The situation was quickly getting out of control, and the outcome was uncertain. Mr. Lu stressed that their top priority was to uncover the secrets inside the pyramid of the god Horus. He asked for help from the hunters and assigned Song Ran and Mr. Luo, both experienced awakened hunters, to explore the pyramid. The rest of the hunters would stay behind to fight the dragon monster. Without hesitation, Song Ran and Mr. Luo set off to uncover the mysteries of the god Horus. As they approached the pyramid, a group of flying monsters attacked them. Song Ran drew his evolved sword, ready to fight, but Mr. Luo calmly suggested they observe the situation first. As an experienced awakened hunter, Mr. Luo used his signature move, the flow of perception, to analyze the situation. Mr. Luo's technique was incredible. With his arms outstretched, he unleashed his attack, and the flying monsters were no match for his power. Song Ran was amazed by Mr. Luo's strength, which seemed as strong as several hunter guilds combined. Song Ran realized this was the level he needed to reach to achieve his own goals in the future. As they continued, Song Ran and Mr. Luo finally reached the entrance to the pyramid of the god Horus. To their surprise, they encountered a monster who turned out to be Su-Ku. The monster called out Song Ran's name and attacked him with a whip. Despite the monster's speed, Song Ran managed to block the attack. Even Mr. Luo struggled to keep up with the monster's rapid strikes. Song Ran was pushed to his limits by the relentless attacks, fueled by the monster's hatred for him, which came from Su-Ku's feelings. As the monster's attack closed in, Song Ran activated his phantom skill, letting the attack pass through him harmlessly. He quickly jumped away from the monster's reach. Seeing Su-Ku in this state filled Song Ran with guilt and regret. He wanted to apologize for what had happened, even though he knew Su-Ku might not forgive him in this condition. The monster seemed to show signs of Su-Ku's consciousness returning, as it shed tears at Song Ran's words. As the monster slowed down, Mr. Luo took the chance to use his powerful surging water mountain fist skill. The attack was so strong that it sent the monster flying backward, breaking the wall behind it. With the defeat of the first phase of the god Horus, the system automatically switched to normal mode. Su-Ku's body was taken over by a female monster, the god Horus. With a wave of her hand, she used a powerful skill called Divine Dream. This spell trapped Song Ran in a dreamlike illusion, catching him off guard. Song Ran's expression changed as the illusion took control. Mr. Luo stepped forward, demanding that God Horus stop her games, but she only laughed in response. As God Horus attacked, she felt her power flowing through Song Ran's mind. She summoned whip-like branches from thin air, controlling them completely. Despite the strength of the illusions, Mr. Luo resisted and remained unaffected. Meanwhile, Song Ran was trapped in God Horus' illusion, unable to break free or move. The monster was a serious threat to Song Ran, who was completely at its mercy. Mr. Luo knew he had to protect his comrade. He prepared to defend Song Ran, ready to take any hit. He couldn't get too close to God Horus, as leaving Song Ran's side would mean certain death for him. Instead, Mr. Luo focused on defending Song Ran, buying time until he could escape the illusion. With determination, Mr. Luo drew the sword from his back. Memories of past losses filled his mind, reminding him why he had become a hunter, to protect those he cared about. As the monster's whip branches closed in on Song Ran, Mr. Luo used his signature technique, Surging Water Mountain, with his sword. With each swing of his sword, Mr. Luo's technique made the ground shake like an earthquake, breaking the monster's whip branches. The immense power of a first-echelon hunter surrounded Mr. Luo, protecting everyone nearby. God Horus mocked Mr. Luo, saying that with such power, she would surely be defeated by a first-echelon hunter. But Mr. Luo's focus on protecting others limited his ability to defeat the monster. Although Mr. Luo was strong enough to defeat God Horus, he knew Song Ran was trapped in her illusion. If the monster died before Song Ran woke up, he might be lost in the dream forever. Mr. Luo faced a tough choice. He could easily kill the monster, but it would mean sacrificing Song Ran. He couldn't bring himself to make that decision. In the end, the battle depended on Song Ran breaking free from the illusion before Mr. Luo ran out of energy. Inside the dream world, Song Ran felt confused and unsure of what had happened. God Horus taunted him, claiming that Mr. Luo was trapped in an illusion and couldn't dodge her attacks. In reality, it was Song Ran who was under the monster's spell. In Song Ran's dream, the monster attacked Mr. Luo, trying to make Song Ran shield him and take the hit. Just as the attack was about to strike Song Ran, he activated his phantom skill. Grabbing his sword, Song Ran easily cut through the monster's tentacles. Realizing it was him, not Mr. Luo, who was trapped in the illusion, Song Ran stepped forward to face the monster. Though Song Ran had once been weak and looked down upon, he had changed. He was now a powerful hunter, respected for his strength. Song Ran knew the monster was lying when it said Mr. Luo was trapped in an illusion. Seeing Mr. Luo's power, Song Ran understood that Mr. Luo could easily defeat God Horus before she even used her illusion. The person in front of him wasn't the real Mr. Luo, but a fake. Without hesitation, Song Ran attacked the monster with a quick slash, ending its tricks. Before finishing the monster, Song Ran asked about Su-Ku's whereabouts. God Horus laughed darkly and revealed that Su-Ku had become one with it. Song Ran hesitated, realizing that killing the monster would also mean killing Suku. Sensing his hesitation, the monster tried to trap Song Ran with its tentacles. But Song Ran was skilled and turned the tentacles to stone with a flick of his hand, crushing them to pieces. Despite the danger, Song Ran was determined to find a way to save Suku without harming her. As the monster chased Song Ran, it prepared to attack with its hands. But before it could strike, a mysterious portal appeared above them. To Song Ran's surprise, the monster turned into the real Suku. Song Ran quickly told Suku to hold on and promised to save her. Sadly, Suku had fully merged with the god Horus and couldn't be brought back. The system then warned about an upcoming transformation. Finally, Suku appeared before Song Ran, but she soon began to fade away. She had much to say, but as she reached her limit, she could only tell Song Ran that she accepted his apology. The monstrous god Horus reappeared, staring at Song Ran, who had lost his awakened powers and returned to his former self. However, Song Ran declared that he was no longer the same person he used to be. To Song Ran's surprise, the god Horus had also lost its power. Even without his evolved sword, Song Ran grabbed the monster's head and sliced through it in the illusion. When he returned to reality, Horus had disappeared, defeated by Song Ran in the dream world. However, Song Ran still didn't understand the god Horus style. Mr. Luo contacted Mr. Lu to ask about the situation. Even though the dragon monster was defeated, things outside seemed under control. But their problems weren't over, as they were all given separate missions inside the pyramids. The River City Guild was fighting Osiris, the final boss and god of the dead. Meanwhile, the Clover Guild faced Isis, the goddess of life and magic. At another pyramid, Guild XX was battling Go, the god of earth. At the same time, the first-class hunters from the Huangtu Guild arrived at the last Great Pyramid, the Palace of Anubis. Determined, they approached the pyramid and pushed open the door. The Huangtu Guild was eager to enter the Pyramid of Anubis, the final challenge in the Sea of Forgetfulness dungeon. It was the largest pyramid, but the guild members faced unexpected obstacles as they tried to enter. To their surprise, Wan Feng, an awakened hunter and one of their own, refused to enter the pyramid with the rest of the guild. It was clear Wan Feng wasn't brave enough to face the god Anubis. Instead, he had darker plans. He wanted to betray the Hunters Association, caring only for his own power and selfish goals. His ultimate aim was to eliminate all other hunters and become the strongest. Even Mr. Luo, another awakened hunter, was seen as a threat to Wan Feng's plan for ultimate power. Wan Feng had a sinister plan to activate his awakened mode in the Sea of Forgetfulness dungeon, causing the dungeon's difficulty to increase drastically. The changes in the dungeon were all because of Wan Feng's actions. The story then shifts to the Pyramid of Anubis, where the Huangtu Guild's hunters were confident they could defeat the final boss. With their skills and abilities, they believed victory was within reach. The Huangtu Guild suspected Wan Feng's absence from the Pyramid of Anubis wasn't a coincidence. They believed he had gone back to carry out a massacre in the Sea of Forgetfulness dungeon. Back at the Pyramid of the god Horus, Mr. Lu updated Mr. Luo on the situation. To their surprise, the Huangtu Guild had attacked the Pyramid of Anubis. Mr. Luo realized this meant the Sea of Forgetfulness dungeon would end in normal mode, and the seal core would open. Mr. Luo began to suspect something was wrong with Wan Feng. He told Mr. Lu, revealing that Song Ran was still trapped in the illusion of God Horus. The story then shifts to Song Ran's illusion, where they received a notification that they had defeated God Horus and earned a great reward. Song Ran was given the title of God Eater, marking their victory over the gods. While in the illusion, Song Ran received an item that increased his healing power by 5 times, a rare and valuable reward. This new skill would help Song Ran become an expert healer in the future. Song Ran was about to return to reality, but the system gave him a choice while he was still in the illusion of God Horus. Song Ran decided to explore Suku's memories after she mentioned she had many things to share. However, when Suku appeared before Song Ran, she was too weak to speak. Instead, Song Ran was shown all of Suku's memories. In short, Suku was part of the Hunter Association's secret experiment called Prometheus. This project aimed to give humans special powers by injecting monster genes into their bodies, allowing ordinary people to gain the strength of hunters. But the true purpose of the experiment was still a mystery to Song Ran. At that moment, Song Ran faced a powerful monster, the hidden boss of the Sea of Forgetfulness dungeon. The scene then shifted to the River City Guild, where hunters were shocked as they began to fall and die one by one. The surviving hunters reported the deaths to the guild's leader, who was stunned to hear that one of their members had been killed. Even though the monsters in the area weren't responsible, even the boss monsters had been defeated by someone who had cut off one of their arms. The hunter who reported the news to the guild leader was also overpowered, and the attacker then targeted the chairman. However, the chairman quickly dodged and defended himself. The attacker was revealed to be someone ruthlessly killing the remaining hunters. In the end, all the hunters there died. The River City Guild chairman was heartbroken as he looked at his fallen friends and begged the attacker to stop. To everyone's shock, the attacker was Wan Feng. He claimed that being a hunter was evil and that killing and becoming a demon brought him joy. He then attacked the River City Guild leader. Suddenly, the system announced that the awakening mode had been activated. Wan Feng was confused as he hadn't triggered it himself. Wan Feng thought the awakening was triggered by Mr. Liu, who had discovered Wan Feng's betrayal. Mr. Liu wanted to secure the dungeon seal's essence to handle the emergency in the Sea of Forgetfulness dungeon. But Wan Feng was wrong. When he tried to activate his awakening, the system didn't respond. This meant the awakening wasn't controlled by Mr. Liu, as the end mode couldn't be stopped. Wan Feng finally realized the awakening came from Song Ran, who had a powerful awakening mode that couldn't be suppressed by Wan Feng's own. He headed toward Song Ran, planning to kill him and steal his skill item. The River City Guild leader was already under a mental attack, crying blood after witnessing Wan Feng's brutal slaughter of his comrades. The scene shifted to Mr. Liu, who was guarding the entrance to the Pyramid of Anubis. Wan Feng was expected to arrive soon to stop Song Ran from entering the pyramid. As expected, Wan Feng arrived and confronted Mr. Liu, leading to a fierce battle between two first-echelon hunters who had awakened their powers. The fight between these two strong individuals was bound to be intense. The story then returned to Song Ran's subconscious, where he met the hidden boss monster, the god Ra. But to Song Ran's surprise, Ra wasn't hostile and instead gave him a fragment item. The scene shifted back to the front of the Pyramid of Anubis, where Wan Feng and Mr. Liu had begun their battle. They showed their incredible strength as they exchanged powerful blows. Both being first-echelon hunters, their attacks made the air vibrate with energy. Mr. Liu, with his exceptional strength, overpowered Wan Feng and threw him to the ground. Wan Feng angered Mr. Liu by bringing up his betrayal, making Mr. Liu furious. In the heat of the moment, Wan Feng revealed a hidden ability and wounded Mr. Liu, leaving him shocked by Wan Feng's newfound strength. Just as the tension peaked, Song Ran appeared, asking the two to stop fighting. However, upon seeing Song Ran, Wan Feng quickly moved toward him, his intent to kill clear. As Wan Feng moved towards Song Ran, Mr. Luo used his ultimate ability, a force so strong it made the ground shake like an earthquake. This skill distracted Wan Feng, who turned to face Mr. Luo. Mr. Luo then told Song Ran that Wan Feng was a traitor. Although Mr. Luo promised to hold Wan Feng back, Song Ran quickly rushed to the Anubis Pyramid. Mr. Luo declared that Song Ran was their only hope to defeat the dangerous Anubis. As Mr. Luo and Wan Feng fought, Wan Feng surprised Mr. Luo with a quick slash, beheading him. Wan Feng's strength was truly impressive. Meanwhile, Song Ran continued his journey through the Anubis Pyramid. Inside the pyramid, the Huangtu Guild was struggling as the situation worsened. Just when they were close to victory, Anubis' power surged, and the battle turned against them. Anubis had become even stronger, his power boosted by the Awakening Dungeon's transformation. The deputy captain of the Huangtu Guild tried to convince the guild master to let their hunters rest, but the guild master refused to back down. The hunters near Anubis were marked for death, meaning they were the monster's main targets. Despite this, the hunters bravely moved forward, hoping to defeat Anubis. But as they approached, the monster grew even stronger. Anubis transformed into its second stage, growing wings and flying into the sky. From above, Anubis cast deadly magic, raining destruction on the hunters below. Anubis magic was the deadly art of death magic. The hunters in its path faced its terrifying power. Realizing the danger, they decided to retreat. But just as they were about to escape, Song Ran appeared. The head of the Huang-Tu Guild urged his team to back away and avoid Anubis' wrath. The Huang-Tu Guild had a long-standing grudge against Song Ran. As they retreated, their leader saw a chance for revenge. He ordered their mage to attack Song Ran from behind, unleashing their hatred. But the attack hit Anubis instead, marking Song Ran as its main target. The Huang-Tu Guild wanted Song Ran dead, even if it wasn't by their own hands. Anubis then cast its deadly magic at Song Ran, but Song Ran dodged it. With a sneer, Song Ran called the Huang-Tu Guild cowards. Determined, Song Ran activated a powerful artifact called the God Eater. This item boosted his strength, allowing him to leap toward Anubis, who was flying in the air. With a swift move, Song Ran struck Anubis, causing the monster to cry out in pain. Anubis attacked back, but Song Ran used his phantom skill to dodge, making the monster's attack hit a pyramid pillar instead. The impact caused the pyramid to collapse, with rubble falling everywhere. Despite the chaos, Song Ran stayed agile, dodging the falling debris and avoiding being crushed. Moving smoothly through the rubble, Song Ran used the last of his mana to launch a full-force attack on Anubis. He hit Anubis' weak spot, causing the monster to return to its normal form. Anubis' wings were injured, and it could no longer fly. The Huang-Tu Guild was shocked by Song Ran's incredible power and skill. They never expected him to be such a strong hunter. Even with the death mark still on him, Song Ran stood firm as Anubis rose from the ruins again. To recover his strength, Song Ran used a healing skill. Angry at being pushed back, Anubis moved towards Song Ran, who was ready with his evolved sword. With his sword in hand, Song Ran expertly blocked Anubis' attacks, and the two began a fierce one-on-one battle. The fight between Song Ran and Anubis was intense, with powerful blows destroying more of the pyramid. The Huang-Tu Guild watched in shock as the once grand structure crumbled. The system then announced that Anubis had regained his strength, and his wings had reappeared, allowing him to fly again. As Anubis attacked, Song Ran declared his determination to defeat the monster and return it to its original form. The story then shifts outside the pyramid, where Mr. Luo, badly hurt from Wan Feng's attack, is seen. Wan Feng laughed at Mr. Luo's defeat, but Mr. Luo silenced him, confidently stating that Song Ran had the ability to conquer the Sea of Forgetfulness dungeon. Mr. Luo activated his forbidden mode, using the special powers of hunters who awaken the monster gene inside them. This power can take over the hunter's mind, but Mr. Luo was determined to stop Wan Feng from disrupting Song Ran's battle with Anubis. Despite his injuries, he used his strength to hold Wan Feng back and protect Song Ran. As Wan Feng approached, Mr. Luo prepared to defend himself by using his powerful area skill. The skill was so strong that it cracked the ground around them, hurting Wan Feng and throwing him backward. Despite this, Wan Feng kept provoking Mr. Luo, challenging him to a serious fight. Wan Feng continued to taunt Mr. Luo and used his Shadow Assassin skill, making him disappear from sight. This skill was similar to Song Ran's Phantom skill, making it hard for Mr. Luo to track him. But Mr. Luo stayed focused, ignoring Wan Feng's insults about being thrown out of the Hunter Association and called a pathetic outcast. As the fight between Mr. Luo and Wan Feng grew more intense, Mr. Luo declared that one of them must die. Wan Feng moved quickly, ready to strike Mr. Luo with his assassin sword. Meanwhile, inside the pyramid, Song Ran continued his fierce battle against Anubis, determined to defeat the monster. The hunters from the Huang-Tu Guild watched in awe as Song Ran fought Anubis. Despite the long battle, Song Ran still showed incredible strength, trading powerful blows with the monstrous Anubis. The god monster was at its strongest, but Song Ran matched its power, pushing back against its relentless attacks. As the fight continued, Song Ran showed his combat skills and broke through Anubis' defenses, putting the monster into execution mode. This gave Song Ran a chance to end the dungeon quickly by finishing the monster himself. The head of the Huang Tu Guild was shocked by Song Ran's progress and even considered letting Song Ran defeat the final boss alone. However, he had other plans. He wanted to kill Anubis before Song Ran could, so he could take the god's items for himself. The head of the Huang Tu Guild approached Anubis, holding his powerful weapons and attacking the monster. But to his surprise, his attacks couldn't break through Anubis' defenses, even though the monster was in its vulnerable execution mode. The god beast fought back, throwing the guild leader into the pyramid wall with such force that it crumbled. As the head of the Huang Tu Guild lay stunned against the wall, Anubis became enraged and created a bright spear of light. With lightning speed, the monster launched the weapon at the guild leader, shocking his followers. Song Ran, who saw everything, was stunned. Why could Anubis fight back if it was supposed to be in execution mode? The powerful monster then turned away from Song Ran and returned to its throne, leaving the young hunter in disbelief. Sitting on its throne, the mighty god Anubis began to move. A bright yellow light filled the air as lightning struck the pyramid of Anubis. The monster had awakened its strongest form. A warning echoed through the halls, announcing Anubis' transformation into its final, most powerful mode. In response, the hunters inside the pyramid prepared their defensive shields, knowing Anubis would soon use its ultimate skills. All the mages activated their shields, ready for the god's attack. Anubis' ultimate attack began. Its power was so immense that it destroyed the pyramid of Anubis. The light from the attack even reached the nearby pyramids. Song Ran stood firm, blocking the monster's attack. Outside the pyramid, Wan Feng and Mr. Luo felt the effects of Anubis' ultimate power. Song Ran stumbled back, and it was clear that Anubis had changed its appearance. This was the monster god's final form. The hunters of the Huang Tu Guild had no choice but to run, unable to withstand the monster's power. The hunters were seen running away from Anubis, trying to save their lives. Song Ran then took out a special item he had gotten from the god Ra during his time in the illusion of the god Horus. This item would give Song Ran more power. As he held the item, Song Ran remembered the message from the god Ra. The god had asked Song Ran to end the fight and seal the Sea of Forgetfulness dungeon forever. Although the item would make Song Ran stronger, there was a cost. Once activated, the item would drain all of Song Ran's energy, leaving him weak and tired. But Song Ran believed this was a small price to pay for the greater good of humanity. When Song Ran activated the item, a powerful aura surrounded him, transforming him into the legendary mode of the god Ra. He felt a rush of immense power flowing through his body, growing stronger every second. The hunters of the Huang Tu Guild were in a panic, desperately trying to escape Anubis' wrath. Suddenly, Song Ran appeared, moving quickly through the panic hunters. With fast and precise movements, Song Ran stepped in to protect those in danger. Despite Anubis' quick attacks, Song Ran was even faster, blocking the attacks and saving the hunters. Anubis was shocked when he saw Song Ran, who now had the power of the legendary god Ra. Anubis couldn't believe a human could possess such power, which he thought only the gods of the dungeon could have. Angry, Anubis attacked Song Ran, but Song Ran dodged every strike with ease. The hunters of the Huang Tu Guild watched in awe as Song Ran showed his incredible power, but they wondered how long he could keep this god mode active. The stakes were high. If Song Ran turned back into his human form before defeating Anubis, the pyramid would become their grave. Enraged, Anubis shot laser beams from his eyes, but Song Ran was too fast, dodging every attack. With a powerful leap, Song Ran flew into the air, moving at incredible speed. His agility helped him avoid the monster's attacks and brought him closer to his goal, defeating Anubis. Time seemed to stop as Song Ran used his ultimate move, the Dance of Blue Dragon. Multiple versions of Song Ran appeared at once, each striking the monster with great force. Song Ran gathered all his strength for one final, devastating blow. The attack was so powerful that it destroyed Anubis, who crumbled into dust. The hunters of the Huang Tu Guild watched in awe as they witnessed Song Ran's incredible strength. The display of power left everyone speechless. Suddenly, a system notification appeared, congratulating all the hunters on defeating the final boss, Anubis, and closing the Sea of Forgetfulness dungeon. After the dungeon ended, Xiaobai asked Mr. Liu which guild had defeated Anubis. Mr. Liu said the Huang Tu Guild had sent a message saying they would retreat from the battle against Anubis. But in reality, it was Song Ran who won. A system notification appeared in front of Song Ran, showing he had defeated Anubis alone, meaning all the rewards would go to him. As Song Ran tried to claim and share his rewards, he started to lose consciousness as his energy ran out. Still, he managed to press the yes button on the status window, successfully upgrading his sword. The other hunters in the dungeon began returning to their human form as the countdown from 5 to 1 started, and the Sea of Forgetfulness dungeon closed forever. Those who survived were able to return to the human world. As Song Ran lost consciousness, he asked Xiao Bai to give the sealing core of the dungeon to someone, but before he could finish, he passed out. The system announced the successful closure of the dungeon, thanks to Song Ran's bravery. Even though he was unconscious, Song Ran's courage would always be remembered. After the dungeon ended, the traitor Wan Feng quickly escaped from the Hunter Assembly. His betrayal earned him a worldwide criminal label from the Hunter Association. The Hunter Association tried to secure the sealing core from the dungeon by sending their strongest team. But their mission failed because of a traitor among the hunters. As a result, powerful monsters broke free from the dungeon and attacked Song Ran City, leaving it in ruins. After the city was destroyed, a man named Mr. Traitor entered Dungeon Siege alone and defeated all the monsters, ending the dungeon. 3 months after the Sea of Forgetfulness dungeon closed, a new city was built to give people a fresh start. The scene shifts to a hospital in the new city, where Song Ran was recovering from his injuries. Song Ran had been in a coma for 3 months, but was now awake. He looked around and saw his friend Xiao Bai and Si Yin by his side, taking care of him. Confused, Song Ran asked where he was and learned he was in a hospital, having been unconscious for 3 months. His friends explained what had happened in his hometown while he was asleep. When Song Ran heard about the destruction of his old city, he was shocked and sad. But he found comfort in his friends' support. The situation was complicated because Song Ran had been homeless before the disaster, leaving him with no place to call home. As he tried to figure things out, Mr. Liu from the Hunter Association visited him. Mr. Liu explained that while Song Ran was in a coma, the association's director, Zhao Jingyan, had insisted on meeting him once he woke up. Slowly, Song Ran began to accept his new reality. Jingyan had something important to tell Song Ran, and Mr. Liu said she would visit him after he left the hospital. He asked Xiao Bai and Si Yin not to disturb Song Ran, who had just woken up. This disappointed his friends, as they had hoped to celebrate his recovery by going out to eat. But their plans were canceled because Song Ran had to meet director Jingyan right away. Si Yin whispered room 317 to Song Ran, which surprised him. He wondered if there was a hidden meaning behind it. Later, Song Ran went to the Hunter Association as promised, where he was greeted cautiously by its members. Song Ran finally met Jingyan, who explained that because of his impressive performance in the Sea of Forgetfulness dungeon, the association wanted to recruit him as a police officer or hunter security guard to chase criminal hunters. Jingyan said Song Ran deserved to know more, possibly even the truth about his mother's death. At first, Song Ran was hopeful about the association's offer to share information about his mother's death. But he soon questioned their motives, wondering why they hadn't told him the truth earlier if they truly believed it. Throughout his time in the dungeon, Song Ran felt the Hunter Association was only using him to get the sealing core. Song Ran believed the truth about his mother's death was a closely guarded secret, known only to those in high positions. But as he learned about the monster gene experiments, Suka's cruel tests, and the Sky Tower, he realized the truth was much more complicated and dangerous than he thought. It wasn't just about his mother's death. It was about the true purpose of the global elite Hunter Association. Song Ran doubted the Hunter Association's intentions and thought they wouldn't reveal the truth about his mother's death. He decided to decline their offer and remain an ordinary hunter. But his decision was interrupted when a man and his group stormed into the room. The man was a high-ranking member of the Hunter Association and warned Song Ran to be careful with his words. Jingyan asked for a moment to finish talking with Song Ran, but the man's subordinates forcefully took her away. The man introduced himself as he Tianji, the leader of the hunter police in S City, a new town under Song Ran's control. Tianji was also a famous hunter and the head of the security association. Tianji got straight to the point, asking about Su Ke's conversation with Song Ran in the Sea of Forgetfulness dungeon. This was when Song Ran started to understand the truth. The Hunter Association had recruited Song Ran to keep an eye on him because he knew about their dangerous experiments. If this information got out, it would threaten the association. Song Ran told them Su Ke hadn't shared anything during their meeting, only saying she wanted to kill him for revenge. He also revealed that the story about room 317, mentioned by Si Yin, was made up by Mr. Liu. Tianji and Song Ran talked about the skills Song Ran used against the Anubis monster. Song Ran said the power appeared when the system was chaotic, and that he got a fragment from the god Ra. This explanation angered Tianji, who thought it was nonsense. He said he had ways to verify the truth. Song Ran asked why Tianji was questioning him, if he already knew the answers. Tianji laughed and said he had done what was necessary, mentioning that their conversation was being monitored by the deputy chairman of the global hunter elite from a remote location. Song Ran was with Jingyan when a man approached and asked Jingyan to transfer Song Ran to the next checkpoint. Song Ran was then taken by the Hunter Association and placed under their watch. Jingyan asked Song Ran to trust her, saying she was on his side. But Song Ran stayed silent and didn't respond. Suddenly, their car was attacked, and they called for help from the association headquarters. Through the rearview mirror, they saw a car chasing them, but it was unclear if it was behind the attack. A high-speed chase began on a city bridge, with a mysterious figure watching from above. The man then struck the chasing car with lightning, flipping it over. He also attacked Song Ran's car, hitting it hard and knocking both passengers unconscious. The attacker's identity was unknown as he approached the wreckage. The condition of the passengers was still unclear. As the mysterious man neared the wreckage, Song Ran suddenly appeared behind him, using his phantom skill. Even though Hunter Association rules banned using ghost powers outside dungeons, Song Ran had activated his power to save his life. He asked the man who he was, and the man claimed he had saved Song Ran's life. He revealed his group, the Mercury Cup, wanted to free Song Ran from the Hunter Association's control. He invited Song Ran to join them if he wanted to fight back. The man was clearly strong and not ordinary. Jingyan crawled out of the overturned car, badly hurt, and called out to Song Ran, trying to say something important. But Song Ran stayed indifferent and was ready to leave. At that moment, Jingyan revealed the truth about Song Ran's mother's death. Sadly, Jingyan was in critical condition after the car attack. Jingyan said Song Ran's mother had been killed by his own father. She knew this because she had once worked under Song Ran's father. One day, his father went crazy because of the monster gene factor and was sent to the Sky Tower. Hearing this, Song Ran felt anger and hatred toward his father. The scene then shifted to a convenience store. 3 days after shopping at the store, shocking news broke about a murder and assault on the Hunter Association. Surprisingly, Song Ran was named the main suspect in the incident, which had killed 3 people from the association, including Jingyan. The accusation said Song Ran caused a terrible accident on the flyover bridge, killing 3 innocent people. The Hunter Association police concluded that Song Ran was responsible for the murder and assault. This was despite Song Ran being praised as a hero for closing the Sea of Forgetfulness dungeon with his bravery and strength. The media speculated the attack was linked to Wan Feng's betrayal in the dungeon. The Hunter Association used this to spread false information about Song Ran and limit his movements, as he knew sensitive information about the association. Song Ran couldn't believe he was now running from the organization he had served as a hunter. He was labeled a level A criminal, accused of causing a deadly accident on the bridge and killing 3 Hunter Association members, even though he had been a hero just days before. The media and the Hunter Association spread lies about Song Ran, linking him to a betrayal in the dungeon. For 3 days, Song Ran was constantly on the move, struggling to find food and a place to rest. He felt like a hunted animal, ironic for a hero who had just completed a major mission. Finally, he found a hidden inn where he could rest and think. The Mercury Cup group, who opposed the Hunter Association, let Song Ran stay free because they were a threat to the association's secrets. Song Ran thought about his meeting with Sun Wu before entering the Sea of Forgetfulness dungeon. He remembered Sun Wu taught him how to create a mini portal, allowing him to enter any dungeon at will. With this new ability, Song Ran used it to enter the Sky Tower and declared war on the Hunter Association. Inside the Sky Tower, he bravely fought monsters and showed his determination to stand against the association. With his increased strength and improved abilities, Song Ran easily defeated all the insect monsters in the Sky Tower. Beating them was as easy as cutting vegetables. He had reached the 30th level of the Sky Tower and showed no signs of stopping. With his powerful level 6 evolutionary sword and the respected title of the God Eater, Song Ran entered the Sky Tower with a clear goal. He wanted answers about his father and was determined to uncover the truth. As he went deeper into the tower, he met the level 30 final boss, a swordsman called the Swinging Soul Swordsman. But this encounter was different from any Song Ran had faced before. The boss challenged him, mocking him to prove his worth. Song Ran didn't back down and prepared for the ultimate battle. With his trusted sword in hand, he was ready to face his greatest test and prove himself as the true God Eater. The monster growled and raised its sword, ready to attack. It was a master swordsman, showing incredible skill and power. Song Ran was impressed, but not scared. With quick reflexes, he easily dodged the monster's strike and moved in for a counterattack. In a flash, Song Ran disappeared from the monster's sight and reappeared above it, catching it off guard. The monster felt something strange, realizing Song Ran wasn't just an opponent, but a true sword master. The monster's eyes showed recognition, as if it had a deep connection with Song Ran. Its memories of its past life as a human began to return. Flying high in the air, Song Ran swung his sword in a final goodbye to the defeated boss. He struck with the strength of a true champion, defeating the monster and uncovering the truth about their shared past. The monster felt the full power of Song Ran's sword, seeing it as a source of hope for all monsters. With its last breath, it acknowledged Song Ran as a true sword master, someone who could bring light to the darkness and peace to a troubled world. The monster looked up at Song Ran and softly asked for his name. Song Ran introduced himself, and the monster's eyes lit up with recognition. It then asked Song Ran to grow stronger and rise above. In the monster's eyes, Song Ran wasn't just a winner, but also an old friend, and it saw hope in him. The monster's words stayed in Song Ran's mind as he stood tall, determined to fulfill his destiny as a true hero. Just as the monster was about to tell Song Ran something important, a female guardian of the Sky Tower appeared, interrupting their conversation. She warned Song Ran that the Hunter Association knew he was in the Sky Tower and told him to leave before they caught him. The Guardian opened a portal for Song Ran to escape. Knowing he didn't want more trouble, Song Ran quickly stepped through the portal and left the Sky Tower. Once Song Ran was gone, the female Guardian turned to the defeated final boss. She asked about the key the monster had mentioned to Song Ran. The Guardian then raised her hand and said the monster would soon be reset, meaning it had regained consciousness and its memories were returning, putting its secrets at risk. The Guardian told the monster she couldn't hide its awakening from the void and that it was doomed to be reset as a monster again. With a wave of her hand, she ended the monster's existence, leaving only a chilling reminder of her terrifying power, which even a monster couldn't withstand. As Song Ran came out of the Sky Tower portal, he was met by Hunter police trying to capture him. But Song Ran easily avoided their attempts and kicked one of the officers. Just as things got worse, a fireball attack flew into the room from an unknown source. Song Ran dodged it, and the room exploded into flames. The Hunter police accused Song Ran of killing Jingyan, forcing him to defend himself. Even though he avoided their attacks, Song Ran was pushed back. He begged the Hunters not to make him fight, but they ignored him, seeing it as arrogance. The Hunters kept attacking Song Ran. A Hunter stood in front of Song Ran, ready to strike. But Song Ran's quick reflexes let him dodge the attack easily. The leader of the Hunter team was shocked by Song Ran's strength, despite his young age. They realized that if they didn't act fast, Song Ran would become a major threat in the future. The hunters were determined to kill Song Ran because he refused to cooperate with them. With incredible speed, the man used his skill, demon sealing 1,000 arrows, sending a wave of light-like arrows towards Song Ran. Despite the fierce attack, Song Ran skillfully dodged every arrow. In just moments, Song Ran quickly defeated 2 members of the ambush team and faced their leader. The man was shocked by Song Ran's strength and couldn't react before Song Ran took him down with one swift strike. The ambush team sent by the association was no match for Song Ran, who easily defeated all his enemies in an impressive show of power. The stormy weather mirrored Song Ran's situation as he faced a thunderstorm. Meanwhile, Si Yin and his guildmates gathered at his home, worried about Song Ran, who they hadn't heard from since the Hunter Association took him. News of the incident, where Song Ran was accused of causing an accident, had just reached them, and they couldn't figure out the truth. A knock on the window startled them. When they opened it, they were surprised to see Song Ran at their door. They welcomed him warmly and offered him a drink, which he gladly accepted. Song Ran took a sip and was amazed by its taste, realizing he hadn't had anything like it in a long time. Grateful, he thanked his friends for their kindness. As they settled in, Song Ran's friends wanted to hear about everything that had happened since he left. They talked about his journey and how he had become successful. But the conversation turned serious when they discussed secret topics like the monster gene factor and the banned Prometheus project. They were both fascinated and shocked by what Song Ran shared. Si Yin, curious about Song Ran's plans, asked him about his next steps. But Song Ran wasn't sure about his future. The Hunter Association was chasing him, and he could no longer enter dungeons. Hiding wasn't a long-term solution, as he knew he'd eventually be caught. As they thought about this, a message appeared on their status window. 57, Chuanhu Road, tell Song Ran. The next day, Song Ran went to the address. When he arrived, he saw someone he recognized, Chi Siyuan, a fellow hunter. Song Ran was shocked to see Siyuan there and wondered why he had come. To his surprise, Siyuan wanted to kill him. This confused Song Ran, as they had no issues during their time in the Sea of Forgetfulness dungeon. Siyuan was a hunter who had fought alongside Song Ran and was also the leader of the River City Guild. In the past, Wan Feng had killed all members of the River City Guild in the dungeon. When Song Ran met Siyuan, he was confused by Siyuan's sudden appearance and desire to harm him. He tried to talk peacefully with Siyuan to understand the problem, but Siyuan wasn't interested. He said that with his awakened power, he could choose to be good or evil. Siyuan then drew his sword and wounded Song Ran. It wasn't surprising that Siyuan was so strong, as he was a diamond-level hunter. Song Ran quickly used his healing skill to treat his injury and grabbed his sword, ready for a serious fight. Without hesitation, he attacked Siyuan. The two exchanged fierce blows, with Siyuan even laughing and enjoying the fight. Siyuan tried to use his skill, Windsword Recast, but Song Ran blocked it. With a quick kick, Song Ran sent Siyuan flying. As Siyuan lay on the ground, Song Ran approached him. He asked why Siyuan had become so violent and suggested it might be because of the monster gene inside him. Song Ran pointed out that their fates were connected, as they had both lost friends to their enemies. Song Ran raised his sword, ready to end the fight, but before he could strike, Siyuan activated his defensive skill. However, the barrier couldn't stop Song Ran's powerful sword strike. With no way out, Siyuan didn't know what to do. But to Song Ran's surprise, Siyuan said that this time, Song Ran truly wanted to kill him. He hoped Song Ran would pass the test. Song Ran was confused by Siyuan's words and wondered what he meant. After the fight, Siyuan revealed he had given up on being a hunter, but would never stop trying to awaken his strength. He was determined to get revenge on Wan Feng for killing his guildmates in the Sea of Forgetfulness dungeon. Siyuan then told Song Ran that he was now a top-level criminal with no place in society. The reason for Siyuan's visit was to invite Song Ran to a place where they could be free from the Hunter Association. But he warned that in this place, strength and the willingness to kill were necessary to survive. Siyuan had come to test Song Ran, and Song Ran didn't disappoint. That place was called the Land of Exile, a sanctuary for criminals and outcasts. Song Ran and Siyuan then went to Si Yan's house to discuss their plans further. Siyuan said he wanted to take Song Ran to the land of exile to help him get revenge on Wanfeng. In return, Song Ran agreed to help Siyuan achieve his own goals. Eventually, the two made a deal to work together toward their shared goals. In short, Song Ran and Siyuan set off for the land of exile by car. Siyuan explained that the land of exile was a place where criminals and outcasts from around the world gathered, living without laws or rules. It was a place where people acted on their desires like wild animals. Although no government recognized the land, its residents traded illegally with other countries. Siyuan warned that once they entered, they might not be able to return. He asked Song Ran to leave his past behind and start a new chapter in their lives. But Song Ran refused to forget his past. He saw his memories as part of his life's journey and didn't want to let them go. When they arrived at the entrance to the land of exile, regional officers inspected them. While handing over their IDs, Song Ran noticed a pink-haired woman secretly watching them. Suddenly, she sneaked into their car. Despite the unexpected passenger, Song Ran and Siyuan passed the inspection and were allowed to enter the land of exile, a lawless world of criminals and outcasts. Here, Song Ran and Siyuan would begin their mission to defeat their common enemy and achieve their goals. Meanwhile, Mr. Trader instructed the identity check team to keep Song Ran's arrival a secret from the Hunter Association. Song Ran and Siyuan continued their journey to the land of exile, following directions from Soon How on Google Maps. They expected to meet someone along the way, but their trip was interrupted by the mysterious woman who had sneaked into their car earlier. Song Ran asked if she was also heading to the land of exile. The woman then revealed she had a dangerous grenade that could explode at any moment. She demanded to be taken to the land of exile, threatening to carry out a suicide bombing if they refused. Despite the threat, Song Ran and Siyuan stayed calm, confident they could handle any danger. The woman shook her head in disbelief. Suddenly, their car hit someone who blocked their path. The person was angry after being struck by Song Ran and Siyuan's car. To their surprise, they realized they had been stopped by a group of 3 robbers. The robber ordered everyone out of the car. In response, the woman rolled down her window. When the robber demanded money, she handed him a grenade, which exploded and set him on fire. Song Ran and Siyuan, watching the scene, were shocked. The robber asked his accomplice if he looked strange, but they said he looked normal, even though his face was blackened and his hair was messy from the explosion. After the explosion, Song Ran and the others got out of the car, angry at being tricked by the grenade. They wanted revenge on the woman, but what they found next was unexpected. The woman was actually a skilled hunter, as shown by the sword she now held. Even Song Ran and Siyuan were surprised. The woman was ready to fight the robbers who had confronted them. The robbers attacked, but the woman was not to be underestimated. She skillfully blocked their attacks with her sword, and even struck one of them down. When the robbers tried to attack her together, Siyuan used a lightning strike to cut through them, severing one robber's arm. It was clear Siyuan was also fighting, using his lightning strikes to defeat the robbers in one quick move. Finally, the robbers were defeated. Siyuan said a real man wouldn't stand by and watch a woman be bullied. The woman praised Siyuan for being a true man, unlike the weak person she had seen before. She then searched the robbers and discovered they were members of the notorious Stellar Rain Corporation. Song Ran asked the woman about the robbers' identities. She explained that the Stellar Rain Corporation was a major group in the land of exile, focused on weapons and technology. She was confused why members of such a powerful group were robbing people, but they didn't dwell on it. She then introduced herself to Song Ran and Siyuan as Selway, a libertarian. Libertarians believed the land of exile was a place of freedom, not just for profit. Song Ran asked Selway why she had secretly entered their car despite being a skilled hunter. Selway's answer was simple. She didn't have the permit to travel through the land of exile and planned to return home once she entered. In the evening, Song Ran and Selway arrived in Rugertown and stopped at a nearby bar. The new bartender told them the bar was fully booked, but Selway insisted on meeting the owner and asked the bartender to call him. Suddenly, a young girl ran up to Selway, hugged her, and called her big sister. The girl asked if Selway remembered the promise she had made, leading to a warm reunion. It turned out Selway had promised to buy the girl a special birthday gift. Smiling, Selway gave the gift to the girl, who was thrilled and thanked her. The girl said she would wait until noon to open the gift because it was so precious. The inn manager told Song Ran and Selway that all rooms were booked, but they could rest in a back room. Just as they were about to accept, a man interrupted, saying Selway could stay, but Song Ran and Siyuan could not. This angered Siyuan, who confronted the man. However, Song Ran calmly reminded them they had come to meet someone from the Deacon Light Corporation, as planned. Despite this, the corporation's representatives claimed they didn't know Song Ran or his companions. Frustrated, the group was ready to leave when the person they were looking for finally appeared. The chairman of the Deacon Light Corporation approached Song Ran and his friends, apologizing for the company's current struggles. As they talked, a group of threatening men burst in, surrounding the place and demanding the chairman hand over information immediately or face serious consequences. The Deacon Light Corporation's informants were confused by the sudden attack from the strong mercenaries. The chairman tried to calm the situation and asked for a peaceful conversation. But the mercenary leader showed no mercy, kicking the bar owner to the ground. Seeing her father attacked, the young girl bravely ran to his side, filled with anger. During the violence, the young girl was also hit by the mercenary leader. As she fell, her precious birthday gift slipped from her hands. The leader picked up the gift and, despite the girl's pleas, destroyed it right in front of her. Song Ran and Selway watched in shock, unable to speak. The leader said his goal was to take a rare crystal the Deacon Light Corporation planned to sell, which he and his group desperately wanted. Suddenly, Song Ran disappeared from Selway's side. He had secretly moved to attack the leader's men hiding behind him. With incredible speed, Song Ran easily defeated all the henchmen and positioned himself behind the unsuspecting leader. In a surprising turn of events, Song Ran quickly took down the leader's men. The onlookers were amazed by Song Ran's strength and speed. Selway was shocked. She hadn't expected Song Ran to be so powerful. Song Ran then approached the girl, comforting her and promising to give her a better birthday gift in the future. The girl asked him to keep his promise. Little did Song Ran know, this act of bravery would lead him to a life in exile, far from peace. After stopping the chaos at the bar, the owner thanked everyone by offering free drinks. Song Ran and his friends stayed the night to rest. Selway praised Song Ran's bravery and strength in defeating the mercenaries. During their stay, a representative from the Deacon Light Corporation approached Song Ran with a request. The informant explained that the corporation, which worked in engineering, needed help clearing the Minotaur's dungeon. Their hired hunters weren't strong enough, so they turned to the famous hunter, Song Ran. Song Ran was surprised and asked for more details. A few days earlier, their boss had made a deal with Country C to get crystals that could be used as medicine to suppress the awakening of a monster inside a hunter's body. But on their way back from the Crystal City, the shipment was stolen by unknown people. The robbers were tracked to the Minotaur's dungeon, and the group decided to go after them. On their way, they were attacked by a pack of demon bears. These bears were known to appear suddenly in the forest and were a constant danger to travelers. The group had no choice but to fight the monstrous beasts. Despite their efforts, they were outnumbered, and the task was dangerous. The land of exile was a risky place, even for experienced adventurers. The Deacon Light Corporation asked Siyuan, Song Ran, and Selway to follow them into the Minotaur's dungeon. Meanwhile, the rest of the group dealt with the demon bears. They arrived at the portal leading to the platinum-level dungeon. This was a chance for Siyuan, Song Ran, and Selway to prove their skills as hunters in the dangerous Minotaur's dungeon. The Minotaur's dungeon was unique. It allowed only 5 people to enter at a time, and its layout had several paths that led to the final boss room. The plan was to split into 2 teams, but Song Ran decided to go into the dungeon alone. This worried the Deacon Light Corporation informant, who was concerned for Song Ran's safety. However, Siyuan reassured the informant, explaining that Song Ran often worked alone and was fully capable of handling the platinum-level dungeon by himself. When Song Ran entered the Minotaur's dungeon, he found himself in an empty room. He carefully explored the maze-like passages, marking the path he took. Suddenly, a black-robed skeleton monster appeared behind him. But Song Ran reacted quickly and defeated the monster with his sword. He felt lucky that the dungeon's monsters were relatively weak. He then started running, using the opportunity to practice his evasion skills in a safe environment. As Song ran, a flash of lightning surrounded him, and a warning message appeared. Evolution mode activated. This happened because Song Ran's entry caused the dungeon to level up. A group of skeleton beasts appeared, but Song Ran was ready. He attacked them easily, defeating the monsters without trouble. Instead of continuing to fight, Song Ran decided to test his dodging skills, avoiding the monsters' attacks with his agility. After successfully dodging 100 attacks, he gained the seamless dodge skill, making his movements even smoother and faster. While Song Ran was effortlessly moving through the dungeon, the system suddenly warned him that a hidden final boss was about to appear. Song Ran's mood changed instantly as he realized he couldn't keep playing around. This hidden boss could be a tough opponent. Suddenly, a glowing symbol appeared behind Song Ran, and the hidden boss emerged from it. The sudden appearance of the boss monster was confusing. Song Ran had faced this monster before, but only in the Sky Tower. How had it ended up in this dungeon in the land of exile? The monster seemed to have only one goal: to fight and destroy, with no emotions or consciousness. A fierce battle began between Song Ran and the monster. Song Ran was puzzled, wondering why this Sky Tower monster was now in the dungeon. He tried to talk to the monster, reminding it of their past battle, but the monster only focused on fighting and destroying. The monster then revealed its ultimate weapon, removing its blindfold. Realizing the danger of the monster's main attack, Song Ran acted quickly. He slashed at the monster's head, specifically its eye. After the attack, Song Ran noticed the monster could no longer communicate as it once did, but he didn't let that bother him. He remembered how close he had come to death the last time he fought the monster and was eager to test his new strength against it again. Without hesitation, Song Ran attacked. However, the monster blocked his strike. Suddenly, black portals appeared above them, signaling that the monster was about to use its ultimate skill. But Song Ran wasn't scared. He smiled confidently, believing the monster's attack couldn't harm him. A sword of light came from the portal, aimed at Song Ran. To everyone's surprise, he disappeared just before the sword could hit him. In a quick move, Song Ran appeared behind the monster. He expressed his dislike for the monster's status as a hidden boss, recalling a past raid party that had been wiped out by a similar monster. With a swift strike of his sword, Song Ran defeated the monster. After winning, he continued his journey through the Minotaurus dungeon. The final chamber of the Minotaurus dungeon was now in sight. The final boss had been sleeping quietly for 2 hours undisturbed. Despite a recent system crash that made the monsters stronger, the two of them waited for reinforcements from the Deacon Light Corporation. The system crash was a sign that one of the incoming hunters had undergone an awakening. Siyuan and an informant from the Deacon Light Corporation finally reached the final boss room after fighting their way through the dungeon. They were exhausted because the monsters had suddenly become stronger, and they had almost died. To their surprise, they found a hunter in the room who introduced himself as an adventurous hunter. The hunter warned them not to attack the boss monsters, as they were too powerful. Suddenly, a portal appeared behind Siyuan, and Selway's team stepped out. Siyuan gathered everyone in the room, hoping to unite against the boss. However, the hunter turned out to be deceitful, and when Siyuan let his guard down, the hunter attacked him quickly. Despite being ambushed, Siyuan defended himself and beat the attacker. He found out that the people in the room wanted the rare crystals in the dungeon and were ready to fight anyone from Deacon Light Corporation to get them. The attacker showed a monster gene crystal and turned into a strong beast. Instead of attacking Siyuan and his friends, the attacker went towards the sleeping Minotaurus. It was clear that the attackers couldn't beat the hunters from Deacon Light Corporation and had planned a suicide mission by waking the final boss. As a last attempt, the attacker decided to use the final boss, the Minotaurus, to fight the powerful hunters from Deacon Light Corporation, even if it meant certain death. The attacker broke the chains holding the Minotaurus and woke the beast, ready to sacrifice himself. This was their only chance to defeat the hunters, and they hoped to do it by using the Minotaurus's power. The Minotaurus started attacking and quickly killed the attacker. Everyone was shocked and began to cry. Selway bravely asked the remaining hunters to team up and fight the final boss. But the hunters were unsure, as they feared that even if they survived, failing the mission would lead to punishment from their employer. The Minotaurus moved with a fierce look, ready to attack. The hunters were trapped, unable to escape, and had to defeat the final boss to survive. But the Minotaurus wasn't just any monster. It could absorb the souls of the hunters it killed, growing stronger with each one. This was a trap set by the hunter maniacs to destroy Deacon Light Corporation. Seyuan was confused about why Deacon Light Corporation was dealing with these hunters and why they were now in such danger. The final boss was coming straight for them, and it showed no mercy. Anyone in its path would meet a brutal end. Just as the monster was about to reach them, Song Ran appeared from a portal. Song Ran moved quickly, dodging the final boss's attack aimed at Selway. The hunters from Deacon Light Corporation were amazed to see Song Ran, who had made his way through the dungeon alone. The monster grew angrier, attacking Song Ran repeatedly, but Song Ran stood strong and countered with such force that the boss's weapon broke. At his current power level, the Minotaurus was no threat to Song Ran. As Song Ran attacked, the monster tried to defend itself, but it was useless. Song Ran jumped into the air, sword ready, and struck the monster with a powerful blow. The impact was so strong that even his hair split apart. With that final strike, Song Ran landed on the ground, victorious. With one mighty strike, Song Ran defeated the final boss, leaving the hunters from Deacon Light Corporation in shock. Despite the fear the Minotaurus had caused, Song Ran alone proved stronger. His power and skill were undeniable, leaving everyone in awe. After winning, Song Ran greeted the hunters with a warm smile. He proudly showed the rewards of his victory, including a rare crystal needed to enter the Sky Tower, a prize many wanted. The hunters admired the crystal and the importance of Song Ran's achievement. The story then moves to Deacon Light Corporation headquarters, where Song Ran and his team are taken after their success in a Minotaurus dungeon. As they enter the room, they see a figure playing a game. It was clear this person had been waiting for them. As they got closer to the figure, they were shocked to find out it was Andre, the chairman of Deacon Light Corporation. He greeted Song Ran warmly, saying he had heard many stories about the hero's adventures. Andre explained that he had worked with Soon Hao on the Prometheus project before and wanted to thank Song Ran for getting the rare crystals for the corporation. In return, the corporation offered Song Ran and his team a comfortable place to stay. Seyuan, however, was confused about why Soon Hao would work with someone who looked like a child. Andre explained that his body had stopped growing because of the monster genes inside him. Seyuan asked about Suku, whom Song Ran had met in the Sea of Forgetfulness dungeon. Song Ran said with a smile that he and Suku were good friends. After the meeting, Song Ran took a shower and relaxed. He never expected to be offered a home, even in the land of exile. With the rare crystal that opened the way to the Sky Tower, Song Ran was closer to his goal of finding the truth about this world at the tower's peak. He was excited to start this new part of his journey. The scene then moved to the Exile Land checkpoint, where the head of the Hunter Police was about to enter. It turned out that Tianji had been ordered to capture Song Ran and Seyuan, who were now living in the land of exile. The Hunter Association saw them as a threat and acted quickly. At Deacon Light Corporation headquarters, Seyuan knocked on Song Ran's door, and Song Ran opened it. Seyuan told Song Ran that the Hunter security team had found their location in the land of exile and that they would soon be attacked. When Song Ran heard about the Hunter Association's plans, he was surprised but stayed calm. He didn't know how they had found him in the land of exile, but guessed it was through information sold on the black market, where secrets are traded for money. Despite this problem, Song Ran stayed focused on his goal of uncovering the truth in the Sky Tower. In the next scene, Song Ran visited Andre in his room. He asked Andre for help in finding information on the black market. Song Ran felt something was wrong, but Andre refused to help. Instead, Andre suggested that Song Ran get used to life in the land of exile first, as only then would black market sellers trust him with information. Andre came to Song Ran's room and asked where the rare crystals from the Minotaurus labyrinth came from. Song Ran said he wanted to use the crystals to reach the Sky Tower. Andre offered to buy the rare crystals and trade them for 2 other crystals that could do the same thing. He explained that the rare crystals were important for controlling the effects of the monster gene in hunters. After thinking about it, Song Ran agreed to the trade. The scene then shifted to Barrow Town, a busy city in the land of exile. Siyuan was surprised by how lively the city was, even though it was part of the exile territory. Song Ran told his team that the city was the only way to the Sky Tower and urged them to focus on their mission there. The group split up and decided to meet at the black market, which looked like a mall, in 3 hours. Meanwhile, Tianji was seen buying something at the black market. The group had to follow the black market's rules while searching for Song Ran. But by chance, they ran into Song Ran at the market, marking the start of their next move. A fierce battle between Song Ran and Tianji broke out in Barrow Town. A sudden explosion caused chaos, and people ran away in fear. The fight was intense, with both using their skills to gain an advantage. Tianji launched a strong attack, but Song Ran dodged it quickly. Song Ran fought back with his own impressive moves, but Tianji blocked them with his defenses. The battle continued, with each strike threatening to destroy the area around them. Suddenly, a loud voice came from above, demanding to know why there was fighting. Everyone looked up and saw a figure coming down from the sky. The figure revealed that the fight was happening in his territory, the busy black market. He said he wouldn't allow any fighting in his domain and ordered it to stop immediately. The man who appeared was the feared Mr. Trader. Known for his incredible strength, Mr. Trader was someone many people were afraid of. When he arrived, the ground where he landed turned to rubble, making even Song Ran and Tianji stop fighting. The scene moves to a VIP room in a black market building, where Song Ran and Tianji were brought. Mr. Trader walked into the room, surprising both of them. Song Ran was shocked and asked how Mr. Trader could rule the city when he worked for the Hunter Association. Tianji interrupted, telling Song Ran that he didn't understand Mr. Trader's power and influence. Mr. Trader asked why they were fighting in public instead of gathering information about the black market. He suggested they come to him for answers. Tianji said his goal was to defeat Song Ran, but Mr. Trader stopped him. Song Ran explained that he wanted to grow stronger and learn the truth about the world. Mr. Trader warned that this would be very difficult. He said Tianji might know more than Song Ran, but he himself knew even more than Tianji. Still, Mr. Trader refused to tell Song Ran the truth about the world. Song Ran asked why Mr. Trader wouldn't share the truth. Mr. Trader replied that the knowledge was dangerous and could even lead to Song Ran's death. However, he added that if Song Ran became stronger, he might discover the truth on his own. Mr. Trader then asked Song Ran why he wanted to grow stronger. Song Ran said he wanted to live freely, which surprised Mr. Trader. He noted that not everyone in the world could enjoy such freedom. Song Ran then asked about a strange hidden boss that had recently appeared. This boss was different from others and had shown up unexpectedly. Mr. Trader told his team to find information about it, but they couldn't. The details were unknown. Mr. Trader admitted he didn't know about the hidden boss, but suggested that if Song Ran wanted to grow stronger, he should climb the Sky Tower. Song Ran felt confused. Mr. Trader wasn't giving him information, yet he was encouraging him to pursue his goal. Originally, Song Ran had planned to climb the Sky Tower, but his plans had changed. Instead, he asked Mr. Trader to help him sell his crystal resources on the black market, wanting to handle the deals directly. Mr. Trader agreed, but only if he received 5% of the profits. After their talk, Song Ran left the room. Before leaving, he warned Tianji that he wouldn't share what he knew unless Tianji forced him. Tianji simply called Song Ran a clever boy. Mr. Trader then revealed Tianji's real reason for coming to the city. Tianji had pretended to want to kill Song Ran, but his true goal was to get information about the Mercury Cup. Mr. Trader refused to share any information because Tianji wasn't aligned with the Hunter Association. Tianji agreed and called Mr. Trader the World Observer with the greatest fighting strength. As Song Ran walked through the black market building, he overheard people talking about a deadly fight involving someone from Deacon Light Corporation. Curious, he asked the group what was happening. To his surprise, he learned that the fighter was his friend, Siyuan, battling the son of the management. Hearing this, Song Ran's face showed concern. The scene then shifts to Mr. Trader's room, where he receives troubling news about the hidden boss monster he and Song Ran had discussed earlier. The information came from a team of hunters who had gone to clear a dungeon, but encountered a hidden boss much stronger than the dungeon's level. Despite being skilled, the team barely escaped, losing 2 members in the process. Based on the monster's skills, it was likely the hidden boss came from the Sky Tower. At the Mercury Cup headquarters, a hunter named Azura, known as the Guardian of Blood, is tied to his bed in a rage. Azura is the final boss on level 50 of the Sky Tower, but it's unclear what led to his current state or what secrets are being hidden. The scene changes to a man giving drugs to Azura, the level 50 boss of the Sky Tower, who is tied up and locked. Azura was moving restlessly, but the man told him to stay still because the research would take a long time. However, Azura interrupted and said he didn't want to fight anymore. It turns out the man was the same person who had saved Song Ran from the Hunter Association. He introduced himself as a member of the famous Mercury Cup group. Although their purpose wasn't clear, it was obvious they were working hard to find a cure for the monster gene affecting hunters. However, they were struggling because they lacked a key ingredient, a rare crystal source. Despite this, the man and his partner were determined to find a solution, believing the future of humanity depended on it. The scene then shifts to a life-or-death fight, where Siyuan is battling his opponent. As he jumps into the air to strike, it becomes clear the fight is almost over. Siyuan is fighting Zhao Sifong, the wealthy son of the Zhao Corporation, as both are competing for Selway's attention. Song Ran, who is watching the fight, looks calm and finds it odd that others are so amazed by Selway's beauty. After a tough battle with many intense exchanges, Siyuan wins against Zhao Sifong. According to the rules of the fight, Siyuan is about to deliver the final blow. But before he can, someone unexpected stops him. The voice calling out to Siyuan is Song Ran, who asks him to spare Zhao Sifong's life. Selway also joins in, and the 3 leave the arena together, heading back to the Deacon Light Corporation headquarters. Selway and Song Ran know there could be serious consequences if Siyuan kills one of the exiled children of the Zhao Corporation, especially over something as small as a woman. As they try to leave, they are stopped by members of the Zhao Corporation, who had been defeated by Siyuan earlier. Song Ran is ready to fight the Zhao Corporation members, but Selway stops him, saying she will handle the situation. Selway asks Zhao Sifong to accept his defeat gracefully after losing to Siyuan. However, it is revealed that Thoth, Sifong's colleague, is forcing them to confront Selway. The loss to Siyuan leaves the Zhao Corporation members feeling ashamed. They might forgive Selway, but not Song Ran or Siyuan. Selway then shows her ID card, revealing her identity. The members are shocked and scared. One asks about the card, and the other says it could mean their death. Realizing who Selway really is, they give up their plans to confront Song Ran and Siyuan. 3 days after their encounter with the Zhao family, an informant from Deacon Light Corporation tells Song Ran about a rare crystal being sold on the black market. The next day, Song Ran goes to the transaction site with Siyuan, as it's too dangerous to go alone. When they arrive, Siyuan asks if it's true that someone is giving away the crystal. Siyuan questions Song Ran about why he's selling the rare crystal mint for reaching the Sky Tower. Song Ran explains that he's not actually selling it, but setting a trap to find information about the thieves who tried to steal the crystal from the Minotaur's dungeon. Song Ran is curious about the mysterious sender when suddenly, Zhao Sifong appears. Sifong is the same person Siyuan fought in the brutal battle at the black market building the day before. Seeing Sifong, Song Ran and Siyuan quickly move to catch him. However, Sifong is caught off guard, and a fierce fight breaks out between the 3. Sifong used his powerful ability, Psychic Impact, causing a huge explosion. However, the fight ended quickly as Song Ran and Siyuan overpowered him. Song Ran warned Siyuan to stay alert, as the situation might be more complicated than it seemed. Suddenly, a shadow appeared, and Siyuan worried that Sifong had backup. But the masked figure was actually there to kill Sifong, to stop him from leaking secrets. Song Ran stopped the attempt and saved Sifong. Song Ran's sharp instincts helped him understand the masked man's plan. Even though they agreed to meet alone, Song Ran chose a quiet place for the deal, suspecting the other side wouldn't send just one weak person to steal the valuable crystal. He told Siyuan to attack the masked man, who quickly fought back. The two had a fierce battle, exchanging powerful blows. The masked figure was a deadly assassin, known for being able to kill with a single strike. Despite this, Siyuan managed to pressure him. Si Fong tried to run away, but Song Ran stopped him, warning that leaving would put his life in danger. The assassin wanted to kill Si Fong, while Song Ran wanted to keep him alive for questioning. The fight between Siyuan and the assassin continued. Song Ran said he would find out the assassin's true identity. The assassin tried to kick Siyuan, but Siyuan dodged the attack. The assassin then looked at Song Ran before quickly escaping. Siyuan and Song Ran didn't chase him, focusing instead on capturing Si Fong. The scene shifts to the Deacon Light Corporation headquarters, where Si Fong is being questioned after being caught during the deal with Song Ran. Despite repeated questions, Si Fong refused to say who sent him, claiming he had someone to protect. Song Ran said he had a good idea of who was behind Si Fong, but Si Fong stayed silent. After leaving Si Fong with the Deacon Light Corporation, Song Ran said he was stepping away. Si Fong asked to meet Selway, someone he admired greatly. It turned out Selway and Si Fong were old friends, with Selway being their leader during past battles. As the young leader of the Stellar Rain Corporation, Selway was expected to take over the company in the future. Si Fong asked why Selway chose to be a freelance hunter instead of leading the Stellar Rain Corporation. Selway explained she didn't want the responsibility of dealing with company conflicts. She revealed that the Stellar Rain Corporation, which she left 7 years ago, had sent the masked man to steal the rare crystals. As Song Ran and Siyuan left the interrogation room, they let Selway and Si Fong talk privately, hoping they would reveal hidden truths. Song Ran trusted Selway to handle the situation and had his own suspicions about who was behind everything. When Siyuan heard the news, he was very curious, but Song Ran decided to keep the information to himself, waiting for the right time to share it. Siyuan was frustrated by Song Ran's teasing. Eventually, it was revealed that the masked man from the day before was Wan Feng, a famous traitor hunter. This was Song Ran's theory, and the reason he didn't tell Siyuan earlier. Song Ran was confused about why the assassin didn't kill them, even though he was much stronger, and instead took the crystal. He concluded that Wan Feng was part of the Mercury Cup and that the group had spared their lives for their own reasons. Although Song Ran didn't know their true motives, he knew everyone had their own plans. However, these questions wouldn't be answered just by thinking about them. It was time for Song Ran to take action and uncover the truth. The scene shifts to Selway, who is shocked to learn that her company, the Stellar Rain Corporation, wants rare crystals. She had met thieves from the company since arriving in the land of exile, even though the crystals had nothing to do with the company. She wonders if someone evil is in charge. Si Fong even says he was sent on this mission because his father is being held captive by the company. Selway invites them to visit the Stellar Rain Corporation and asks Si Fong to use his fighters to help. Next, the scene moves to the Stellar Rain Corporation headquarters, where Caldero, the head of the company, is with the chairman of the Mercury Cup. They have captured Mr. Zhao, Si Fong's father. Caldero and Mr. Zhao argue about the company's problems until Mr. Bai steps in to stop them. He tells Mr. Zhao that the best thing to do is work with the Mercury Cup, as their goal is to help humanity. As Mr. Bai speaks, a masked assassin enters the room. This is the same person who was at the deal with Song Ran the day before, and as Song Ran guessed, it's Wan Feng. Wan Feng explains what happened and says the people trying to sell the crystal were Song Ran and Siyuan. Mr. Bai had told his team not to hurt Song Ran, so Wan Feng left. It's possible that Song Ran now knows about the Mercury Cup, especially since he has captured Si Fong. Mr. Zhao says he believes his son won't share any secrets, but Mr. Bai is more worried about Song Ran finding out their plans. Even though Mr. Zhao begs for mercy and protection for his son, Mr. Bai says they won't forgive his son's mistake and that the Mercury Cup will help Song Ran capture him. Mr. Bai then kills Mr. Zhao for opposing their plans and tells Wan Feng to bring him Mr. Zhao's head. The next day, at Deacon Light Corporation headquarters, Siyuan is surprised to see that Selway has taken Si Fong with her to escape. But Andre says the real problem is their plan and what will happen next. Mr. Bai warns Caldero to get ready because the real fight is about to start. The scene then shifts to Si Fong and Selway arriving at the Zhao Corporation. They find the employees in chaos and see Mr. Zhao's head, which was sent there after he was killed by the Mercury Cup. Si Fong is heartbroken seeing his father's brutal death. The loyal hunters under Mr. Zhao beg Si Fong to lead them and take revenge. Si Fong, determined to honor his father, puts on his father's battle uniform and prepares to lead the fight. Selway then goes to Caldero to ask about the Stellar Rain Corporation's dealings with the rare crystals. But she isn't satisfied with Caldero's answer. A rogue hunter appears in Caldero's room, no longer trusting Caldero's new direction for the company. Selway firmly says she won't take control of the company now, but will end it immediately. The battle begins. Monsters are approaching, and the Stellar Rain Corporation has many weapons to defend against them. But since they have many hunters, their weapons haven't been used much. Now they are brought back into action. Si Fong, seeing Selway's signal to start the war, prepares his troops. The two of them lead the Stellar Rain Corporation until the battle is over. Even though there's a barrier wall around the building, the attack starts. At Deacon Light Corporation headquarters, Andre gets news that the battle has begun. Song Ran and Si Yuan, both hunters, receive notifications on their hunter system and are shocked to learn that Selway is the heir to the Stellar Rain Corporation. Si Yuan is especially surprised. Song Ran asks Andre which side he's on in the war, but Andre seems unsure because he has ties to both sides. The fight continues, with the Zhao Corporation's helicopter attacking the Stellar Rain Corporation. Meanwhile, Barrow Tower stands tall as crowds gather at its entrance, wanting to enter the busy black market inside. But with the war going on, only certain people are allowed in. Song Ran arrives, determined to get inside. Even though he's unsure if he'll be allowed, the building security system scans his fingerprints and lets him in. It's possible that Mr. Trader helps Song Ran get access to the black market. Song Ran goes there with one goal, to reach the Sky Tower. It's the only way for him to get there in the land of exile. Si Yuan had different plans. He decided to team up with Selway and Si Fong. As he walked, he remembered his talk with Andre. They had found out that the Mercury Cup was behind the war. Knowing this, Si Yuan joined the fight to find Wan Feng, while Song Ran focused on reaching the Sky Tower. The Mercury Cup knew about Song Ran's awakening and wanted to destroy the source of his power, the Sky Tower. Determined to grow stronger and learn more, Song Ran headed there. With the war happening, he felt he needed more power to face the Mercury Cup's strong forces. Finally, Song Ran reached the 200th level of the Sky Tower, the place he had been trying to reach. He believed the being that gave him the Blade of Evolution was there. Excited to find the answers he had been searching for, Song Ran was ready to explore and uncover the truth. Suddenly, the monster laughed, surprised to see Song Ran. To Song Ran's shock, the monster called him its son. It was a shocking twist. The final boss that had destroyed Song Ran's team at the start of the story was actually his father. The truth about the monster's identity was finally revealed. The final war had begun, and after reaching the top of the Sky Tower, Song Ran realized the monster he hated was his own father. Song Ran was stunned as he looked at the monster, unable to believe it was his father. The monster spoke, saying it knew how far Song Ran had gone to find him, even though Song Ran thought it was just a myth. Now, facing the monster as a symbol of evil, Song Ran knew the only way to deal with it was through force. As Song Ran fought the monster, he felt deep hatred. He believed defeating it would give him the answers he needed. The battle began, with both sides attacking fiercely. The monster mocked Song Ran, saying he had grown stronger but was still no match for its power. Despite the insults, Song Ran stayed calm, covering his mouth as the monster called him a worthless son who knew nothing about the world. Song Ran couldn't match the monster's strength. Its attack was too powerful, breaking Song Ran's sword into pieces. Song Ran never expected to lose so easily. The monster moved quickly, hitting Song Ran with full force and leaving him badly hurt and unconscious. The monster's power was terrifying. Despite trying, Song Ran couldn't stand up. He tried to use his healing skills, but he was too weak to keep them active. Helpless, Song Ran sat, unable to move. He wondered why things had turned out this way between them, even though they were once a happy family. The monster coldly replied that this was the world's reality. Only the strongest could survive. Song Ran fell to the ground, bleeding from the monster's attack. Memories of his childhood with his loving parents flooded his mind. As he lay there, he realized the research was dark and the monster gene was actually a virus carried by humans. He remembered the heartbreaking moment when his father, now a monster, had killed his mother. Song Ran cried as he thought about his mother, who had been the best mom in the world. The monster approached Song Ran and asked if he wanted to change the world. Song Ran thought about how much he had missed his father, but now his father was a monster who had taken his life. As Song Ran felt himself losing consciousness and his healing powers fading, the monster offered him a chance to join forces and create a new world for humans. Just then, a girl appeared, calling the monster father. Song Ran was surprised by her presence and her connection to the monster. The girl was Doris, Song Ran's mentor from the Sky Tower. The monster asked her about the current situation. Doris said the battle was spreading across many companies in the land, caused by Mr. Bai and the Mercury Cup. She ominously said this spot would soon become the starting point for the new world. Doris gave her father the purified monster gene factor, which could make the monster the strongest of all and leave hunters powerless against him. The monster then offered Song Ran a choice: take the gene and join him, even merge with him to gain more power than ever before. As Song Ran thought about the offer, a man suddenly appeared. He greeted the monster warmly, calling him Brother Song. It was clear the man and the monster had a history together. The man was Mr. Trader, an old friend of Song Ran's father. But Mr. Trader made it clear that the monster wasn't his friend. It had taken over his friend's body. He revealed the monster's plan was to turn Song Ran into a monster like himself. However, Mr. Trader and Song Ran's father had seen this coming and prepared for it. The scene then flashed back to a conversation between Mr. Trader and Song Ran's father, Mr. Song. Mr. Song told Mr. Trader that the monster was starting to take over his body. The weight of this news was heavy as the scene returned to the present. Mr. Trader worried about the monster taking over Song Ran's body and the destruction it would cause. He asked about the effects of the monster gene on humanity and mentioned the tragic moment when Mr. Song, still in control of his body, killed his own wife. Mr. Trader insisted they report to the Hunter Association to stop the plan of creating humans with monster powers. Mr. Song agreed, knowing he could lose control of his body at any moment. Sadly, he realized he could never return home. With heavy hearts, the two set out to stop the monster gene from destroying the world. Mr. Song gave Mr. Trader a special crystal, fearing the monster inside him would fully take over. He warned that the monster would see Song Ran as his son and target him. The crystal was a resurrection crystal, but unlike any other. If the monster took over and turned Song Ran into a monster, Mr. Trader was to give him the crystal to save him from his father's fate. Mr. Trader agreed to the task and said goodbye to Mr. Song, who left without a final farewell to his son, afraid the monster inside him would harm Song Ran. The scene then returned to the Sky Tower, where Mr. Trader was furious seeing the monster hurt Song Ran. The monster explained that Mr. Trader had come to stop Song Ran from becoming a monster and serving as his right-hand man. The monster told Doris to watch Mr. Bai and others to make sure their plan wasn't ruined. He warned he wouldn't forgive anyone who got in his way. Mr. Trader responded, disappointed, saying the monster's vision for the world was wrong and doomed to fail. Determined to protect humanity, Mr. Trader stood against the monster in the Sky Tower. The two prepared for a fierce battle, a showdown between humans and monsters. Despite the monster's attacks, Mr. Trader dodged and countered with his own skills. Fueled by his words, Mr. Trader was ready to strike and end the monster's reign, declaring he would kill it. The monster was annoyed by Mr. Trader's boldness, setting the stage for a final clash. The monster was hit hard by Mr. Trader, but survived and quickly counterattacked. With incredible speed, the monster attacked Mr. Trader, leaving him badly hurt. The monster wasn't done. He struck again, delivering a deadly blow that went through Mr. Trader's body. The attack left Mr. Trader in pain, as the monster showed no mercy. The monster's power was overwhelming, and Mr. Trader couldn't match it. The monster boasted that his strength was far beyond humans. But what surprised the monster was that someone was healing Mr. Trader with advanced healing skills. Mr. Trader told Song Ran his mission was over, and it was now up to Song Ran to continue. It turned out Mr. Trader had gained a healing ability from Song Ran, who now stood before him with white hair. The monster, sensing Song Ran's weakness, charged to kill him. But to everyone's surprise, Song Ran rose with newfound strength and agility. He dodged the monster's attack gracefully, ready for what was next. At that moment, Song Ran's speed increased dramatically, surprising the monster. The monster was shocked to see that Song Ran had become much stronger, surpassing any human strength. With a determined look, Song Ran faced the monster and declared that he was no longer its son and didn't deserve that title. He then leaped toward the monster, landing right in front of it, ready for battle. With fierce energy, Song Ran attacked the monster using only his hands, delivering a series of powerful strikes. Even without a weapon, Song Ran's attacks were effective. However, in the heat of the fight, Song Ran realized he might have used too much strength and apologized to the monster. This apology only made the monster angrier, as it felt humiliated. The monster declared that anyone who stood in its way must be destroyed and transformed into its strongest form, a towering giant. With its new power, the monster prepared to cause destruction. The monster launched a massive attack at Song Ran with its huge hand, but Song Ran skillfully blocked the blow with his sword. With incredible precision, Song Ran even cut off the monster's giant hand. The monster was shocked by Song Ran's strength, wondering how he had become so powerful after being so weak before. The monster attacked again, declaring this was its moment of victory. It mocked Song Ran, telling him to go to hell as it unleashed its strongest attack. The giant fist was so powerful that it destroyed everything around it. The monster was sure it had won, but to its surprise, a glowing figure emerged from the destruction, Song Ran, unharmed and still standing. The monster was stunned by Song Ran's strength, unable to understand how a human could be so powerful. Mr. Trader, who had been watching, declared it was time to end this. He warned the monster to run while it still could, but he knew it was already too late. The monster became furious at Mr. Trader's taunts and said it would kill him after finishing Song Ran. In an instant, Song Ran charged at the monster, quickly cutting off one of its arms. This was Song Ran's awakening mode, called tyrannical mode. He flew toward the monster, landing effortlessly in front of its head. The monster was amazed by Song Ran's newfound strength, unable to believe what it was seeing. With his sword ready, Song Ran prepared to strike. In one swift move, he sliced through the monster's body, leaving it stunned and defenseless. The monster screamed in pain, realizing it had failed. Even in its strongest form, it was no match for Song Ran's power. In no time, Song Ran defeated the monster in its godly state. With a powerful strike, Song Ran emerged victorious. The monster, unable to withstand the attack, disappeared, admitting defeat and acknowledging Song Ran's unmatched strength. Mr. Trader approached Song Ran and asked what his plans were now that the monster was defeated. Song Ran confidently said he would go out into the world and face any remaining enemies alone, determined to defeat them all. As chaos spread across the earth, a massive dungeon portal appeared, bringing countless monsters that caused destruction in the land of exile. Buildings crumbled, hunters were exhausted, and the world was in complete chaos. Amid the destruction, a figure appeared, Song Ran. This was his true mission, to save the earth and humanity. With a determined look, Song Ran declared that this was the beginning of his real journey. So the moral of the story is, if your dad turns into a giant evil monster, just make sure you hit the gym and level up, because family drama's a lot easier to handle when you're ripped and glowing.